It's Thursday, December 11th. Today, left out in the cold. The struggles faced by Winnipeg Transit riders as temperatures dip. Lined up for a limited supply, the popularity of American alcohol back in stock on Liquor Mart shelves. And later, a major tech shift. Some Canadian cities are putting AI to work. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Thursday to you. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Ainsley McPhail is live at the zoo, exploring the zoo lights this morning. It is such a fun family activity to do, and she's going to take us around and give us a sneak peek on what lights to expect, but also some of the snacks and some of the highlights, so stay tuned for that throughout the morning. But it was a beautiful drive-in for me this morning. Barely
compared to yesterday,
yes,
I'm sure.
Exactly, but it's a cold one.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, temperatures, they are a little bit cooler than they've been, but the conditions are so much better than yesterday. A lot of those streets have now been addressed by the snow clearing crews, so everything about today should be off to a better start. Our temperatures, they're actually not that bad. It does feel colder. We've got a strong wind, but the temperatures themselves, that's not where the problem is. We're sitting at minus 13. Minus 19 would be a normal low. It's those winds out of the northwest gusting to 40 kilometers per hour, and all of a sudden minus 13 feels like minus 23. It's not sunny out there. Pressure is rising. The humidity is sitting at 82%. As far as the conditions go, it's actually quite cloudy out there. We won't be seeing much in the way of sunshine. In fact, there is the possibility of some snow rolling through. But when I show you the futurecast to see how the day plays out, you'll see that this snow might not roll over us. This particular model is showing from northern Manitoba right down into the south. But as it pushes further to the east, it kind of just tapers off all through central and southern Manitoba, or a little bit through central Manitoba. Really lingers across northern Manitoba, but we aren't likely to see much more. Now, we may plan, I suppose, for a few scattered flurries and then another zip through into the evening overnight. For tomorrow, things are going to start to clear out. That's when we'll be getting back to the sunshine. That's when we're also getting back to the cold. As the sky clears, the temperatures tomorrow will be dropping off throughout the day. So things will really be cooling down. Minus 11 is our expected high for today, slightly below seasonal. Only slightly, though, because minus 9 is normal for this time of year. But we're getting a lot further from those seasonal temperatures as we drop through the day tomorrow and then continue on with those cold temperatures throughout Saturday as well. So really sliding into the deep freeze, slight improvement, and then still looking like that drastic warm-up. Maybe not plus digits, but up around the freezing mark as we're looking into the early part of next week.
Thank you, Terry. Bus riders are having a hard time warming up to the city's primary transit network more than 5 months after the overhaul. And as CTV's Daniel Homerson shows you, their views are getting even frostier as the temperatures dip.
Nicholas Tugwell's waiting for a bus that's nearly 20 minutes late, and the only shelter around doesn't help that much.
It's cold.
Yeah, right? Like, and especially the days where it gets, you know, minus 28, minus 30 with the windshield.
He counts on Winnipeg Transit to get to work, run errands, and visit family and friends.
I'm on the bus probably 3 to 4 hours a day, something like that. Really depends. If we're talking wait times, probably adds another hour on top of that.
And Tugwell says he's been waiting a whole lot more since the city overhauled its transit network in late June.
The connections don't make sense. Bus routes change at certain times.
Some of the stops Tugwell frequents have shelters in place, but he says it's time the city installs more shelters on more routes.
Like, I get it, they're tired of them getting broken and stuff like that, but like at the same time, like, they need to be there.
And he's not the only rider who feels like they've been left out in the cold by transit.
There were before there, but it seems like they're taking, ever since that new number came out, they've been taking some away.
A city spokesperson tells CTV News there's just over 700 shelters at stops around the city. About 200 of those were relocated during the revamp, but another 150 were removed completely. And riders could be waiting a few months for those shelters to be reinstalled.
This is a network in transition. We don't want to invest unnecessarily in locations until we've had a good season of the new route usage.
Public Works Chair Janice Luke says the city's still tweaking routes, adjusting schedules, and gathering feedback from riders. Nicholas Tugwell says, well, You can ask pretty much anyone.
There's kids that wait for buses. There's single parents that have strollers and stuff. Like, making them wait outside in this weather is ridiculous.
Daniel Almerson, CTV News, Winnipeg.
A city spokesperson says several factors are in play when it comes to placing shelters at specific stops. That includes ridership numbers, exposure to the elements, and if transfers typically take place there. The province's plan to encourage competition in the grocery sector appears to be off to a positive start. It all centers around property controls. Essentially, they're real estate deals signed by grocery stores and supermarkets, which prevent any similar businesses from setting up shop nearby. The province says getting rid of these deals will increase competition and improve affordability for shoppers. It passed a new law in June requiring grocery stores to register a property control if they believed it should be maintained. Any not registered are now considered void. Since then, the province says 23 have been submitted for removal, while at least 46 are seeking to stay put. The municipal board will have the final say on whether these existing controls will be allowed to continue. Plans for the future of the Port of Churchill are starting to take shape. The Arctic Gateway Group, which owns the port, has signed a memorandum of understanding with Inuit-owned Nunavut Sea Link and Supply, a northern cargo shipping company. This MOU aims to restore the deep water connection, which allowed essential supplies to be shipped between Churchill and Nunavut. Under this agreement, the two groups will look to strengthen supply chains by rail, port, and sea lift, which is a term for a cargo ship carrying vital supplies. The goal is to launch a Churchill origin sea lift as early as 2026. The leader of the Quebec Liberal says his party plans to cooperate with a criminal investigation launched by the province's anti-corruption squad.
We want to get to the bottom of this. We want to see if anyone did anything wrong. If it's the case, they'll pay the price.
Last week, Rodriguez removed Sona Lac-Olivier from the Liberal caucus over an ethics investigation into whether she used state resources to sway the party's Liberal leadership race. She has denied any wrongdoing. New video shows the U.S. operation that seized an oil tanker near Venezuela. The video posted by Attorney General Pam Bondi shows heavily armed people rappelling out of helicopters and taking control of the ship. She says the tanker was under sanctions for allegedly being part of an illicit oil shipping network supporting foreign terrorist organizations.
You probably know we've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela, a large tanker, very large. Largest one ever seized, actually.
Venezuela has denounced the operation, calling it blatant theft and an act of international piracy. The University of Winnipeg has announced its new interim president and vice chancellor. Gino DiStasio, an urban geography professor, will fill the dual role starting Friday. DiStasio has taught at the university for 25 years and served as its vice president of research and innovation for more than a decade. Soon, the university will soon start its search for a permanent president, saying more information will be shared in the new year. The change-up comes after former President Todd Mondor was removed from the position last month. A new exhibit at the Manitoba Museum is bringing the past into the present. It's called Weird Wonders from the Dawn of Complex Life.
These specimens from the Burgess Shale give us a snapshot of what life was like 506 million years ago. They are remarkably well preserved, so some of them actually have preserved remnants of the nervous tissues, their digestive tracts. In some specimens, you can even see the last meals that these organisms ate.
The temporary exhibit on Now showcases species from the Cambrian period. At the center of the exhibit is fossils and representations of Mosura fentoni. That's the name of a new predator discovered earlier this year in British Columbia. The species was about the size of your index finger with swimming flaps along its sides. The museum is also welcoming a new mural bringing back to life Manitoba's prehistoric creatures.
This is representing what life might have looked like a little over 40,000 years ago here in southern Manitoba.
The museum says the mural is largely based on the fossils found from the Grunthal area. This includes evidence of woolly mammoths, giant beavers, and musk oxen. Very cool. Here's what's happening in traffic now on Portage Avenue at Polo Park. Things appear to be moving really well to start off this Thursday morning. If you see any problems out on the streets, please let us know. Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live this morning at Assiniboine Park. It's Zoo Lights. Good morning.
Good morning, Rochelle. Where's my award?
It's cold, yes.
The one that I get for for coming out so early. This is great. And it's funny that I'm saying that because when we were planning this hit, I'm like, I'm going to do a snow angel. And Kenny's like, we're not actually doing the snow angel thing. It's not happening. We're here for the lights. 1.75 million of them. Everybody knows the iconic love sign, the Aurora Borealis. Coming up, though, we're going to be learning about some of the events behind it, not only New Year's, but just the fun and the excitement and the execution too. How do they create the tunnel? How do we get we were asking earlier too, how do we get the snow like that? Also, there's more than ever too. So there's more fire pits. There's s'mores kits too that you could eat said s'mores in front of said fire pits, and just a great place for the family. You have to get those tickets in advance though with the dates and the times so that you could be extra prepared and, you know, prepare for the weather too, because that's a whole lot of fun.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Yeah, you definitely need layers today, Terry.
100% you do, yeah. The big boots on to keep the feet warm, and something with some traction, and with a little bit of height to it as well, because that snow, it's a little bit taller than it was the other day. Of course, it continued to fall throughout yesterday. Snow plows then made those little ridges on some of the sidewalks, so that's also what you're going to be walking through if you're a pedestrian out and about today. Minus 14 is where we're sitting as far as the temperatures go. Feels more like minus 22 when you're factoring in that wind. Is out of the south-southeast this morning, 13 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling. Humidity is sitting at 82%. Now, we do have some heavier clouds. There's snow falling just to the west of us. We do have the possibility of seeing some of those flurries today, but a couple of the models are showing that it kind of tapers off as it gets over the southeastern part of the province, though it will continue all across much of northern Manitoba today. With those heavier clouds, the temperatures today will be as close to seasonal as we'll see over the next few days, and that's because we're going to be sliding right on into the deep freeze. Not today. Today will still be fairly pleasant, expecting a high of minus 11. Minus 9 is normal, so like I said, the closest to that number. But then tomorrow, those temperatures will be dropping through the day, and we've got a pretty frigid start to the weekend. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
We all know just how cold Manitoba winters can be. Imagine not having a winter coat, boots, a toque, or mitts, and stepping out into the cold. That's the reality for many kids. But you can change that. Give the gift of warmth. Donate to Coats for Kids.
Good morning. It was a busy day for several liquor marts in the city. The same American booze pulled from shelves in February is now back, but only for a limited time.
Oh, it's there. Oh, yay. So I'll get my 2 bottles or 3 bottles and then I'll be done.
This was the lineup outside the Crestview Liquor Mart Wednesday morning, and inside staff were busy restocking a limited supply of U.S. alcohol products. Yesterday was the first day Manitobans have been able to buy American booze from liquor marts since the products were pulled from the shelves 10 months ago. Whether for a Christmas gift or a Christmas party, these Winnipeggers were quick to stock up.
I'm first in line. I came for the Kraken whiskey. My son likes it, and I thought I'd get it for Christmas.
Definitely here for the bourbon. Obviously only made in the U.S., so that's why I'm here for specialty cocktails over Christmas.
Some locations have already sold out of the most popular brands in this first wave. However, the MLCC says more inventory will hit the shelves in phases until Christmas Eve. The final open house was held Wednesday evening for a major planned development in South Transcona. The proposed development will encompass 1,300 acres around Dugald and Plessis Road near the golf course. Officials discussed different concepts for development, including the type of housing that could go in, transportation, and wastewater services. This is one of the most contentious elements for existing landowners. Some residents previously told CTV News they fear they'll be saddled with huge bills if they're required to hook up to a proposed water and sewer system. The next step is for a secondary development plan to be drafted, and then it will go through the approval process at City Hall. After years of waiting for a medical procedure, a Saskatchewan woman approved for assisted dying is getting unexpected support from a U.S. conservative commentator. CTV's Wayne Mentica has more on how it's bringing new attention to her fight for care.
Jolene Van Alstine is currently at the Regina General Hospital with a rare form of parathyroid disease. She has been in pain for years and has been unable to obtain necessary surgery. She was recently approved for medical assistance in dying to end her suffering. Now U.S. political commentator Glenn Beck has been in contact and is trying to arrange medical care in the United States.
Very unexpected, but possibly very promising, too. So that's good news for Jolene and I.
Beck has posted updates to X on Van Alstine's plight. It has reached over 1 million readers. He offered a scathing assessment of Canadian Medicare, saying, "This is the reality of compassionate, progressive health care. Canada must end this insanity, and Americans can never let it spread here." Beck says he has also approached President Trump's State Department to expedite her entry into the U.S. The family is hopeful.
The lady that I've been talking to has been very optimistic and said that it's a very good news situation, or a conversation that we'll have a little bit later. So hopefully it will.
The family recently met with Saskatchewan's health minister and says it was offered an out-of-province referral. That option is also being explored. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
And there are a number of road closures and evacuations in BC's Fraser Valley this morning. Water levels are rising with relentless rain from an atmospheric river.
We really get anxious, nervous when we start to see the water levels rise. It's definitely concerning.
The intense rain has been pelting the Fraser Valley, and there are concerns about possible landslides. The Fraser Valley Regional District ordered people living at about 20 area properties to leave. Another 12 properties have been placed on alert. And in Abbotsford, almost 1,000 properties are under an evacuation alert as the Nooksack River peaks. The River Forecast Center says they are expecting water levels to stay below the catastrophic 2021 flood. Near Hope, BC, a rock slide shut down part of Highway 7. It forced closures in both directions between the communities of Kent and Hope. The Coquihalla Highway is also closed in both directions between Hope and Merritt because of the flooding. Hockey Winnipeg is calling foul over a movie shoot at a community center it says is costing teams dozens of hours of ice time. The organization says Southdale Community Center is closing its West Rink from January 3rd to the 23rd and its East Rink from January 12th to the 16th. The closure is to accommodate the filming of a movie, according to Hockey Winnipeg. It says this will result in the loss of about 100 hours of scheduled activities, including about 85 hours of ice time, impacting more than 60 teams. Games are being relocated and rescheduled, but will be done so at the expense of practices and development programs. Hockey Winnipeg is condemning Southdale's decision to allow the movie shoot, saying youth programming in publicly funded community centers should not be displaced for private enterprise. The president of the Southdale Community Center declined comment. Some road closures to remind you about this morning. Following the rush, the westbound curb lane on Corden will be closed between Arbuthnot to Lilac. On Academy, the eastbound curb lane will be closed between Montrose to Waverly, and the westbound Sargent curb lane will be closed between Strathcona to Empress. If you see any issues out on the streets, please text them to us at 10400.
Traffic is brought to you by the Children's Rehabilitation Foundation.
Looking through the Bathfitter Live eye now. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. Look how much activity is out on the streets right now. So many pedestrians just out for a bit of a stroll, getting where they need to be, probably with all the layers on this morning because it is a little bit cool. Our temperatures themselves are still above season, but just that extra bite. Our minus 14 you're going to see as soon as I switch to the wind chill page. We're feeling in those minus 20s right now, but as far as actual temperatures, this is above seasonal. Minus 19 would be a normal low. And all throughout southern Manitoba, we're in those mid-minus teens right now to kick things off. It's a little bit colder at this time over in Kenora. And then, of course, across parts of northern Manitoba, a little bit cooler yet. But high minus teens or low to mid minus 20s in the far northeastern part of the province. Add in the winds, and yes, we've got those wind chill values up around minus 30 for Churchill right now. Here in Winnipeg, feeling like minus 21. So I've been saying you will want those layers on, but if you're properly dressed for these conditions, it is quite pleasant out there. The winds won't be as strong. There might be a little bit of snow. We're not seeing it just yet. Areas to the west of us, you can see it here on the satellite image, and the precipitation never reads across northern Manitoba, but you can expect there's going to be some flurries moving across the northern part of the province as well. You can see it just kind of scooping around. Winnipeg is kind of where that green mark is, so flurries seeming to move just to the south of us. We'll see. Some models were showing them tapering off pretty much altogether as they move over the southeastern part of the province. But the heavier clouds will be hanging around throughout the day today. Minus 13 as kids get settled into the classroom. Lunchtime, minus 12. And our expected high today of minus 11 is just shy of seasonal. Minus 9 being normal for this time of year. So today, just shy of seasonal. But the temperatures falling through the day tomorrow, taking us a lot farther from that mark. And it is going to be cold moving into the start of the weekend. But a big warm up to come as we're looking into the early part of next week, up to the freezing mark just for a day, and it starts to slide again. Look at this little crow just hanging out, checking out the view, maybe checking out the photographer. That's Neil. Thanks for the photo, and keep them coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca. We're taking a break right now, but we'll be back with your Morning Winnipeg.
Good morning. Health Canada has signed off on a promising postpartum drug to help struggling new moms, but the relief comes at a high cost. CTV's Geneviève Beauchemin reports.
For some new moms, delivering little bundles of joy actually comes with a debilitating condition. Now, Health Canada has approved zuranolone, sold under the name Zurzuvae, for treatment of moderate to severe postpartum depression.
It's exciting that there be novel therapeutics.
1 in 5 women experiences symptoms, including at times severe anxiety, inability to bond with the baby. Amanda DeLuca struggled in the months after her now 10-year-old daughter was born.
That's natural for you to be able to cook and clean the house. I just was so depleted, I wasn't able to do it. And the doctors just said I was a new mom and dismissed it.
That inspired her to start programs for new moms called Evolving with Mandy.
Mindset work and definitely some movement and health. So the whole connection will help you get through it, whether you decide the medication is right for you or not.
Psychiatrists do say lifestyle changes and other already available treatment options can be effective.
Psychotherapy can have a very positive and quite rapid impact when it's well designed and when it's well targeted.
Doctors say in some cases, zuranolone could yield faster results.
The difference is night and day. Like, I could cry happy tears.
Zurzuvae has been available in the U.S. since 2023. It hasn't proven to be a miracle pill for all, and there are side effects including drowsiness, headaches. But for women like Stevie Robertson in Illinois, it has brought back some of the joys of motherhood.
The dread I would feel like when I woke up to a baby crying, I didn't feel that dread anymore.
But the price is high. It costs $16,000 U.S. for a 15-day course of treatment south of the border. We'll have to see what happens here. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
Well, here's something that's never been done before. 9 professional cyclists have successfully launched a glider plane using nothing but human power. They needed to generate a combined 6,500 watts while racing down a 1,500-meter runway. This successful launch happened in Mallorca, Spain, and as we mentioned, yes, this is a world's first. Hey ho, the Festival du Voyageur is getting ready for another year, and we want you to go. Toe-tapping music, snow sculptures, treats, and more highlight the annual festival, and what better stocking stuffer than some tickets? Your Morning Winnipeg has a family day pass for 4 to give away this week. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, and don't forget to enter the keyword fiddle. Good luck.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
Outside this morning, it's minus 14, but it feels like minus 22. We've got some heavier clouds hanging around and just light winds out of the south-southeast. They're 13 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 82%. Those streets are looking pretty good. Plows. The snow plows have been out. They were active yesterday, and as a result, your commute in this morning is going to be far easier. Not a lot of the residential streets have been addressed yet, so just keep in mind it's mostly those major routes where things are going to be moving so much better. Anyway, could we see more snow? For sure we could. Here's a look at the satellite image right now, and just off to the west of us, making its way toward us right across the province. It doesn't read up north, but you can expect to see those flurries there as well. And lingering longer throughout northern Manitoba, some of the models are showing this activity here in the south to actually taper off as it continues to push further to the east. But the heavier clouds will be there, and that chance of flurries will be there. The winds, though, out of the south at about 15 kilometers per hour, fairly pleasant overall. But yes, it will be on the cloudier side and slightly below seasonal, -9. That's normal for this time of year. But this will be a lot closer today than where we're going to be for tomorrow. Now, I mentioned that possibility of flurries today, but the chance gets more active into the evening overnight hours, dropping down to -19. A better chance of seeing some of that snow, and the winds start to shift and increase out of the northwest up to 50 kilometers per hour. That's what they'll be gusting to. And then with those strong winds tomorrow, we're going to see those temperatures sliding through the day. So from -19 our low, we'll end up at about -21 in the afternoon. We will start to see clearer conditions, a little more sunshine, but it's just not going to be warming us up. It stays quite cold into the weekend. That warm up, we'll have to wait until next week for that to happen.
Thank you, Terry. A new report is offering strategies to curb the growing number of threats and harassment against local politicians and municipal staff. The Association of Manitoba Municipalities released a 73-page document. CTV's Jeff Keel has more on the tips and advice to cool the temperature between elected officials and the people they represent.
In the Arm of Taché, effigies of what appears to be local politicians were hanging in a yard. In the Arm of Alexander, these welcome signs were damaged. A municipal staff member's vehicle was spray painted with a target, and a bullet from a high-powered rifle pierced a grader.
Well, it's kind of sad that we have to deal with it to begin with.
Mayor Jack Briscoe says incidents of intimidation against elected officials and staff are rising since the pandemic.
A lot of people had more time. They've learned how to use their computers and get onto social media.
Kathy Valentino is the president of the Association of Manitoba Municipalities. She herself has been the victim of harassment online.
It's pretty derogatory about female and female body parts and a little bit about our family.
In order to combat this growing number of threats against elected officials and staff, the AMM teamed up with Strong Cities Network. They released a report with 130 recommendations. They include advising people to scrub personal information from social media, keep records of harassment and track repeat offenders, engage people with facts, greet people at the door of what could be a contentious meeting, move meetings online if necessary for safety reasons, and offer de-escalating training for staff.
We have to show to people that we identify this problem and we're working together to support each other.
The report says more people are choosing not to run for office. Valentino says they're seeing more by-elections.
Once they're in it, they're saying, hey, I'm out of here. And, you know, good people are stepping away from it.
Briscoe is optimistic these strategies can change that.
A lot of this is common sense, but a lot of this will help us to deal with the public in a better way.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The report was presented at a summit in Toronto. Valentino says representatives from Scotland and Sri Lanka were interested in learning more about the tips in the report. The U.S. point person on trade talks is floating the idea of breaking up CUSMA.
Our economic relationship with Canada is very, very different than our economic relationship with Mexico. My sense going forward is we're already talking to them separately.
Sure.
U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer says he has not been in the same room with both Canada and Mexico to talk trade this year. He adds the Trump administration is keeping all options open as CUSMA comes up for renewal next year. This includes separate deals with Canada and Mexico. As expected, the Bank of Canada left its key lending rate unchanged. This means the benchmark rate is still sitting at 2.25%. The bank's statement after the announcement says its policy rate is at about the right level to keep inflation close to its 2% target. The bank had signaled it was done adjusting its policy rate for now after a quarter-point cutback in October. It's called the most wonderful time of the year, but as it turns out, it's also one of the most dangerous times for your heart.
Most people don't think about the fact that during the holidays, you can get in trouble even if you don't have any history of heart problems or medical problems at all by doing some of the things that you normally do during holidays.
According to the American Heart Association, more people die from heart attacks at the end of December than any other time of year. That's partly because people tend to drink a bit more than usual. Experts say you should remember to pace yourself and drink water in between alcoholic drinks. Salty and rich foods can also add an extra strain on your heart. If you're hosting, you're encouraged to offer healthy options and non-alcoholic drinks.
You want to enjoy yourself, but you really want to celebrate smart, and you want to be mindful that these things can occur, and a little bit of prevention goes a long way.
Warning signs of a heart attack include pain or discomfort in the chest, lightheadedness, nausea or vomiting, jaw, neck or back pain, discomfort in the arm or shoulder, and shortness of breath. If you're experiencing those symptoms, you should get help immediately. Unbelievable scenes on a busy Florida highway with a small plane crash landing right on top of a moving car.
I have chops, I swear.
You can see the plane going down quickly, crashing onto the vehicle as it touches down on the I-95. The aircraft skids to a stop after slamming into the median. The 57-year-old woman driving the car suffered minor injuries. The pilot and passenger in the plane were not hurt. A Dartmouth, Nova Scotia man's Christmas display has become a festive tradition, drawing lots of attention from the community the bigger it gets.
This all started about 5 years ago when my wife, Lynn, said to me, I'd like a Grinch for our property, and I made her a Grinch.
And like the Grinch's heart, the display keeps growing. The family has added more to their Christmas wonderland over the last 5 years, helping put their neighborhood in the festive spirit. Here's what's happening now on Donald Street. We do have a traffic note in this area. A collision has blocked the median lanes at Donald and Stradbrook. And that could cause delays as we move into this traffic this morning. If you have any other traffic tips to share with us, please text them to us at 10400. Here's a look at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.27. The provincial average is lower at $1.15. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.13, and the lowest price in the city is $1.09. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Ainsley McPhail is live at Zoo Lights this morning for the annual holiday event at the zoo. Stay with us for more details.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
We've got a very pleasant start here Thursday morning right now. And if you did some shoveling last night, the winds, they're on the lighter side, and you can probably see the efforts and enjoy them this morning. Your path will still be clear. The streets, a lot of them have been addressed by those snow clearing plows too, and the winds didn't kick it all back into place. So again, so many things are better than yesterday morning. You might still see a little bit of light snow today, but it will be on the lighter side. Now, as far as temperatures go, it is pleasant. As I said, minus 14 is where we're sitting right now with the temps, though it feels like minus 22, a bit of a breeze. It's just a 13K wind right now out of the south-southeast. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 82%. There is more active snowfall just to the west of us, and it's tracking further to the east, so we could find ourselves in the path of it, but a lot of the models are showing it kind of tapers off before it really gets into the southeastern part of the province, but it will continue across northern Manitoba. Expect to see those flurries flying today. Checking in with Ainsley McPhail now, out on location. Let's find out where she is and what's going on. Hey, Ainsley.
Good morning, Terry. It's the land of romance. We're in Lover's Lane right now at Zoo Lights. I'm going to tell you all about it. Danny Wenger joins us to tell us, and, well, we're going to show you, too, throughout the morning. It's absolutely stunning here, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for coming on by this morning, Ainsley. We are in the full swing of Zoo Lights, the most magical time of the year. We've got twinkling lights, beautiful displays. We've got some new things going on this year, and will be fun to talk about in a little bit. The New Year's Eve celebrations and New Year's Day. So cool. But it's just a beautiful time to get the family together and enjoy the beautiful outdoors and, yeah, just take in the holiday spirit. Because it's just like walking around this morning, it's just so magical. It's just so quiet and chill. But when you come to Zoo Lights, it'll be beautiful and lots of holly jolly music playing.
And anyone who's reluctant because of the cold, we have an option for you.
Absolutely. So we heard loud and clear that people were getting a little too chilly. Totally fair. So we have more warming pits this year to get you nice and warmed up. And we also have one of our buildings is you can go inside this year. It's new. And we put our beautiful aurora lights inside. And it's like a beautiful light and music show. It goes for about 3 minutes. And it's a really great place to warm up. We've got Tundra Grill. But we do recommend that you dress for the weather. It's primarily outdoors. But if you need a little bit more of a warm up, we've got you.
We're standing by the iconic love sign. People get proposed here too sometimes.
Yes, we do have a couple of proposals, and it's so sweet. And so some of them, people will come and just propose right in front of the love sign. How iconic. And sometimes they do connect with our team, and we can kind of help with it. So if you're thinking about proposing to your loved one, why not come down to Zoo Lights and try here?
Dates and times. When's it happening?
So we're open now Wednesday night through Sunday night, and then once we get up to the holidays, we're open every day till January 1st. And one fun thing to note is you can also get your photos here with Santa all the way up to February or December 23rd, and then after Santa does his big job and goes back to the North Pole, we'll have our winter characters here. So we're going all the way pretty much now till January 1st.
Thank you so much. This will be an everlasting love. Hit it, break. This will be the one out.
The early markets, the Dow Jones is showing it's lower. The Nasdaq lost 171 points. The S&P index fell slightly. The Canadian dollar dropped to 72.49 cents U.S. The Hang Seng is flat. The Nikkei lost 453 points. Good morning. It is 6:46. The man accused of grabbing a child inside a Winnipeg school washroom is facing more charges. Police say the investigation into the incident at Darwin School 2 weeks ago led them to discover 2 more instances where the suspect was allegedly on school property in violation of a court order. The first happened November 20th when police say a suspect wandered inside a high school after hours, stole a laptop, and left without being detected. Staff only realized later when they reviewed security footage. And then on November 27th, the same day as the incident at Darwin School, police say the suspect returned to the same school and wandered around before staff discovered him and escorted him out. Police did not name the school, but say it was in the Louis Riel School Division. The force says 28-year-old Scott William George was rearrested at the Provincial Remand Center Tuesday. He's charged with theft under $5,000 and 2 counts of failure to comply. Internet was knocked out in Dauphin after police say an alleged impaired driver left a trail of destruction through town. This is where it all came to an end Monday night at the corner of Jackson Street and 1st Street Southwest. RCMP received multiple calls about an erratic driver. Mounties later discovered the driver had damaged 2 other vehicles, driven over a stop sign and a telecommunications box, and narrowly missed a telephone pole. The driver is also accused of resisting arrest, threatening officers, and pulling a fire alarm at the police station. A 35-year-old woman is facing a long list of charges, none of which have been tested in court. There are only a few weeks left of 2025, and already Canadians are worried about how they'll be able to afford food, debt, and housing costs next year. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver reports.
The malls may be busy, but this year many Canadians are focused less on presents and more on presents.
Me and all my friends make gifts for each other, and I feel like that makes it so much more lasting, and it's not like a cost worry thing in the holidays.
This holiday season, economic anxiety is high. According to a new Nanos report, 42% of people rank grocery prices as their top financial concern. 17% say their biggest concern is personal debt. 16% housing costs, 8% job security, and just 8% say they have no financial concerns.
It doesn't matter how you cut it. The fact of the matter is 9 out of every 10 Canadians are feeling the economic squeeze in terms of the rising cost of housing, the rising cost of groceries, worried about personal debt, or even just worried about job security.
The financial stress being tied to uncertainty around tariffs and the high cost of living.
Recently, I've been trying not to go to the grocery store as much, but every time I go, I'll only buy the essentials, maybe 10 items, and I end up spending $100. It's insane.
And for those wishing for prices to come down, the Bank of Canada says that would actually be bad news.
If we were to try to push the whole price level down,
That would cause a severe recession in Canada. Nobody wants that.
So what can Canadians do to help their financial future? Experts say try tracking where money is coming in and going out.
When you do this, you kind of figure out what you're really spending money on and what's important. And again, a lot of people, this is challenging. This is the whole budgeting, which if behind every good financial plan, there's a solid budget.
While the Bank of Canada expects inflation to hover around 2% next year, many experts believe that food prices will increase between 4 and 6%.
A high-fiving primate defeated some absolutely bananas competition at this year's Nikon Comedy Wildlife Awards. A British photographer captured this playful gorilla during a 4-day trek through Africa's oldest national park. The winning photo, dubbed High Five, beat out more than 10,000 entries from 109 countries. And here's the traffic note for you. The collision at Donald and Stradbrook is now clear, and we have some other road closures to remind you about. The westbound curb lane on Corden will be closed between Arbuthnot to Lilac following the rush. On Academy, the eastbound curb lane will be closed between Montrose to Waverly. If you see any other problems out on the streets, let us know, please.
Yeah, if you're anticipating the mayhem that was yesterday's commute, you will be pleasantly surprised to see that those streets are in far better shape this morning. Just look how clear they are for the most part, major routes anyway. Some of the residential streets are still going to be a little bit snow covered and whatnot, but things are looking better out there and feeling better too. We had those temperatures drop off a little bit yesterday afternoon, but minus 14 is where we're sitting right now, and we're in for a pleasant day. Winds out of the south-southeast are 13 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, and the humidity is sitting at 82%. Also falling a little bit of snow in areas off to the west of us through northern Manitoba. You can expect that snow as well. A lot of the models showing that it kind of tapers off by the time it gets to us here in the southeast, but the possibility is there for a few flakes of snow. More so though, like I said, throughout much of northern Manitoba, and the temperatures mid to high minus teens. This is very normal for this time of year as far as temperatures go. So seasonal temps, wintry-like conditions with the scattered flurries expected throughout the day, more so here in the northwest. The northeast might see mainly cloudy conditions, a couple of places, but northwestern Manitoba is more likely to deal with that snow throughout the day today. Through central and southern Manitoba, again, expect to see some flurries flying, -9. That would be a normal daytime high, and there's a few places here in the southwest that might be hitting those numbers, and a couple places here in the southeast that might climb that high. Many of us will be just below seasonal today. -11 does seem to be the average temperature that we're expecting, with some areas more likely to see those scattered flurries. Areas just to the west of us, further to the east of us, just the clouds, and the temperatures very similar, just into those minus double digits. Now, tomorrow gets colder. The temperature will be dropping throughout the afternoon down to about -21, and we're staying in the deep freeze as we're looking ahead to the weekend. We'll also, though, experience clearer conditions, a little more sunshine coming out, and then still looks like we're getting that great big warm up to the freezing mark only for a day before it starts to drop again.
Thank you, Terry. In Australia, a groundbreaking social media ban for children under 16 is now in effect, leaving Canadians wondering if this country could be next. CTV's Heather Wright reports.
The legislation is the first of its kind in the world. Children in Australia under the age of 16 can no longer legally have accounts on social media sites like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. It's a law Amanda Ebinger wants to see passed here in Canada.
She was getting phone calls. She was getting harassed.
When Ebinger's daughter was 11, someone began posting rumors about her online. The attacks became so vicious, she started to self-harm and even considered taking her own life.
We took her to the hospital and she stayed there for the weekend. And then after that, I realized, okay, we can't be here anymore.
The family moved out of town to escape the harassment. Australia's law aims to prevent that type of online bullying and also shield young people from apps that have been shown to cause increased rates of depression, anxiety, and loneliness. The ban puts the onus on the tech companies to enforce age restrictions and remove accounts of those under the age of 16, or face fines of up to 49.5 million Australian dollars. Critics say the law is an infringement and will be tough to enforce. There are also concerns about kids losing a communication tool or being pushed into the darker parts of the internet. Proponents, though, say it's an important first step.
generally, whenever you have one of these large policy changes, it's going to help some people and harm some people. And so I think Australia is making the bet that overall, on the longer term, that this will be more helpful than harmful.
Australian officials acknowledge the implementation of this new law will not be perfect, and kids will likely exploit any loopholes. But countries and some provinces here in Canada that are exploring their own social media bans, watching closely now at how things unfold in Australia.
Deck the halls for your chance to win and be featured on Your Morning Winnipeg. Here at Your Morning, we love the sights of the season, and we want to see how you've decorated for the holidays. All those nutcrackers, lights, and trees could help you win a $500 gift card from Red River Co-op and have the chance to show off your holiday house live on Your Morning Winnipeg with a visit from Ainsley McPhail. To enter, head to our contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca, fill out the form, and submit some pictures. Good luck. AI is becoming part of daily life, and experts say Canadian municipalities are gearing up for a major tech shift. CTV's Alison Bamford has more on how cities are already putting AI to work.
Saskatoon Transit is working to get these buses back on the road. Small repairs now to avoid major failures later.
Instead of running a bus until which point in time a check engine light or a stop engine light would appear, we're now able to get ahead of that.
Helping them get ahead is AI.
Here's a fault code.
They successfully piloted the software in 2023. Today it analyzes real-time data from bus sensors and catches maintenance issues early.
Left unchecked, that bus would have been dead on the road.
The information is tracked constantly, cutting costs on parts and saving hours of unscheduled maintenance.
This becomes one more tool in the toolbox in helping us.
23% of Canadian municipalities use AI. Another 31% are actively evaluating how to incorporate it.
We're seeing a lot of municipalities kind of in that learning or experimenting phase. They're still trying to understand in what capacity they can use AI.
ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot are common starting points for municipalities, but many have advanced using it for predictive maintenance, chatbots, and understanding traffic flow.
There is a bit of a fear that if they do venture into the AI world, that they are going to do something that will end up upsetting the citizens or putting them at risk.
Privacy, data protection, and cost are concerns holding back some municipalities. But this expert says don't be afraid.
Just do it in a planned way that allows for management of the risks.
And taking those risks could pay off down the road. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Here's what's happening outside now on McPhillip Street. It looks like things are moving well starting off this Thursday morning. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back after this with your 7 o'clock headlines. It's Thursday, December 11th. Today, transit troubles. Riders slam the new network, saying long waits and poor shelter access leave commuters out in the cold. Plus, booze buying boom. U.S. alcohol hits liquor marts again, sparking big crowds and fast sellouts. And holiday money crunch. A new survey shows parents tightening budgets as rising costs squeeze gift spending. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Happy Thursday, Manitoba. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg at 7:52 in our Community Connection. It's a really great program A&O puts on every year. It's called Be a Santa to a Senior, where you get a card, you pick a card, and it sort of describes the senior in which you selected and what they're into, and then you put together a gift package for that senior. So we're going to find out a little bit more on how many seniors don't have anybody to celebrate the holidays with, and so this is a special way to do that for them.
Yeah, it's something we've done here at the station in the past.
It feels so good.
It does. And I don't know what it is shopping for seniors. It's so much fun. We're so used to like always, you know, getting toys for the toy drive.
Yes.
But when you're shopping for a senior, it just puts your brain in a little bit of a different mode, and it is fun.
It feels nice. Yeah. And then you can make a personal card as well, which is also very special. It warms up your heart because you need it today.
Oh, yeah, I know. We're into the colder weather for sure, although today will actually be a little more pleasant than anything we'll have through the rest of the week. So just know it's only going to get colder from where we're currently sitting, which is minus 14, though it feels like minus 22 right now. We've got winds out of the south-southeast at 13 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity humidity is sitting at 82%. We've got some heavier clouds hanging over us. Satellite image, you'll see where the flurries are falling this morning, just to the west of us right now. Now, as far as how the day will play out, there is the possibility that they can roll over us. You can see them tracking further to the east here on the satellite image. But I'm going to show you the futurecast. And this is a second model. I showed you a different model earlier that showed that they really don't roll through the southeastern part of the province. And this one in agreement. You'll see along that western border, yes, but then as we continue on through the day, it does look like they kind of start to lift a little bit more in this southeastern stretch. Possibly could see some. More likely to deal with that snow across much of northern Manitoba, and then into central Manitoba there's going to be more, and then into the evening overnight, that's when our best chance of getting hit with that flurry activity. Clearing out, though, by tomorrow, and tomorrow I've been talking about the colder weather that's going to be settling in. As we continue through the day tomorrow, those temperatures will be on a bit of a slide. So today, as close to seasonal as we're going to get for the next few days, minus 11 when minus 9 is normal. But falling through the afternoon tomorrow down to minus 21, and we're going to stay with those colder temperatures as we're looking into the start of the weekend. And a big thanks to 6-year-old Allie, who had a little project with her grandma. So it was a joint effort for this one today, and we love to see it. So cute. Keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
Bus riders are having a hard time warming up to the city's primary transit network more than 5 months after the overhaul. And as CTV's Daniel Homerson shows you, their views are getting even frostier as the temperatures dip.
Nicholas Tugwell's waiting for a bus that's nearly 20 minutes late, and the only shelter around doesn't help that much.
It's cold. Yeah, right? Like, and especially the days where it gets, you know, minus 28, minus 30 with the windshield.
He counts on Winnipeg Transit to get to work, run errands, and visit family and friends.
I'm on the bus probably 3 to 4 hours a day, something like that. Really depends. If we're talking wait times, probably adds another hour on top of that.
And Tugwell says he's been waiting a whole lot more since the city overhauled its transit network in late June.
The connections don't make sense. Bus routes change at certain times.
Some of the stops Tugwell frequents have shelters in place, but he says it's time the city installs more shelters on more routes.
Like, I get it, they're tired of them getting broken and stuff like that, but like at the same time, like, they need to be there.
And he's not the only rider who feels like they've been left out in the cold by transit.
There were before there, but it seems like they're taking, ever since that new number came out, they've been taking some away.
A city spokesperson tells CTV News there's just over 700 shelters at stops around the city. About 200 of those were relocated during the revamp, but another 150 were removed completely. And riders could be waiting a few months for those shelters to be reinstalled.
This is a network in transition. We don't want to invest unnecessarily in locations until we've had a good season of the new route usage.
Public Works Chair Janice Luke says the city's still tweaking routes, adjusting schedules, and gathering feedback from riders. Nicholas Tugwell says, well, you can ask pretty much anyone.
There's kids that wait for buses. There's single parents that have strollers and stuff. Like, making them wait outside in this weather is ridiculous.
Daniel Almerson, CTV News, Winnipeg.
A city spokesperson says several factors are in play when it comes to placing shelters at specific stops. That includes ridership numbers, exposure to the elements, and if transfers typically take place there. The province's plan to encourage competition in the grocery sector appears to be off to a positive start. It all centers around property controls. Essentially, they're real estate deals signed by grocery stores and supermarkets, which prevent any similar businesses from setting up shop nearby. The province says getting rid of these deals will increase competition and improve affordability for shoppers. It passed a new law in June requiring grocery stores to register a property control if they believe it should be maintained. Any not registered are now considered void. Since then, the province says 23 have been submitted for removal, while at least 46 are seeking to stay put. The Municipal Board will have the final say on whether these existing controls will be allowed to continue. Plans for the future of the Port of Churchill are starting to take shape. The Arctic Gateway Group, which owns the port, has signed a memorandum of understanding with Inuit-owned Nunavut Sea Link and Supply, a northern cargo shipping company. This MOU aims to restore the deep water connection, which allowed essential supplies to be shipped between Churchill and Nunavut. Under this agreement, the two groups will look to strengthen supply chains by rail, port, and sea lift, which is a term for a cargo ship carrying vital supplies. The goal is to launch a Churchill origin sea lift as early as 2026. There are a number of road closures and evacuations in BC's Fraser Valley this morning. Water levels are rising with relentless rain from an atmospheric river.
We really get anxious, nervous when we start to see the water levels rise. It's definitely concerning.
The intense rain has been pelting the Fraser Valley, and there are concerns about possible landslides. The Fraser Valley Regional District ordered people living at about 20 area properties to leave. Another 12 properties have been placed on alert. And in Abbotsford, almost 1,000 properties are under an evacuation alert as the Nooksack River peaks. The River Forecast Center says they are expecting water levels to stay below the catastrophic 2021 flood. Near Hope, BC, a rock slide shut down part of Highway 7. It forced closures in both directions between the communities of Kent and Hope. The Coquihalla Highway is also closed in both directions between Hope and Merritt because of the flooding. Some travelers may soon be required to provide their social media handles when trying to get into the U.S. The Trump administration has been increasing its monitoring of international travelers, and now Customs and Border Protection is considering collecting 5 years of social media data from certain people. It would apply to people from about 40 countries, mostly European and Asian countries, who are currently able to travel to the U.S. for tourism or business for 3 months without visas. The announcement also says U.S. Customs could request a list of telephone numbers the person has used over the past 5 years or email addresses used over the past decade. They could also ask for extensive information from the applicant's family members. The public now has 60 days to comment on the proposed changes before going into effect. Here's what's happening in traffic along Osborne Street. Things are still pretty light moving in this part of the city. We have no real issues to tell you about at this point in the drive. If you see any problems out there, please let us know.
Oracle taking a hit in early trading after the company reported a jump in spending on AI data centers and other equipment, rising outlays that are taking longer to translate into cloud revenue than investors want. Fiscal second quarter cloud sales increased 34% to $7.98 billion, while revenues in the company's closely watched infrastructure business gained 68% to $4.08 billion. Both numbers fell just short, though, of analysts' estimates. U.S. forces have seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela it says was being used to transport sanctioned oil from Venezuela and Iran. It is a sharp escalation in Washington's pressure campaign against Nicolas Maduro's government. Now, Caracas swiftly denounced the action, calling it an act of international piracy. Earlier, President Maduro declared that Venezuela would never become an oil colony. Venezuela has some of the largest proven oil reserves in the world. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's braving the cold today, all to see some beautiful lights. Good morning.
You know what's funny, Rochelle? This is one of the only spots that you're not braving the cold, and I found it. I found it. Good. They have added extra warming pits, though, for if you're someone like me who wants to enjoy s'mores by the fire. But this is a spectacular light show. You're looking at the Aurora Borealis, so if you're on your way, don't forget to come on in here and take a look. 1.7 million lights, Manitoba's largest light show, so that's pretty darn cool. Also, Santa Claus. So if you've got the kids and you want to snap a shot, you can certainly do that. Coming up at 7:27, we're going to be chatting with one of the makers of these light shows about just how they put it all together. What does the operation really look like? We're also going to be taking a look at the menu. I mentioned the s'mores kit, but there might be a nice hot beverage on its way as well. So stay with us throughout the morning. We're having a lot of cold fun.
Yeah, it looks like fun, and it looks so beautiful. Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. What's really beautiful, Terry, are your pots behind you with a little bit of snow in there. It's so festive looking.
I agree. I love how they're looking, and the little pops of color with the bows and the balls and the berries and all of the bees. And then the snow, of course. It's pleasant out here this morning, though, if you're properly dressed for it. And I always say that that's the key. And can. It's easy to do because we're not dealing with an intense wind. However, that wind will be picking up into the overnight hours and through tomorrow. So do enjoy today. It's minus 14 right now. Feels like minus 22 when you're factoring in that wind, but that wind is nothing compared to what it's going to be. At the moment, it's a 17K wind. Out of the south, the pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 83%. The other trick to being outside is to keep moving, right? I mean, standing around, you're always going to be a little bit colder. I feel for the folks that are, struggling with those bus shelters, because that's when you're just kind of standing there noticing the cold in its full effect. If you get outside and go for a walk, keep your body moving, get the dog out for some exercise, you won't notice the cold the same way. And temperatures today will be at least as close to seasonal as they're going to get, because for the next couple of days, we're sliding into the deep freeze. Today, headed to a high of minus 11. But then for tomorrow afternoon, and some scattered snow is possible today, more so into the evening. Tomorrow, the sky will actually begin to clear, but the temperatures will be sliding, the winds will be increasing, and we're headed into the deep freeze as we're kicking off the weekend.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
Thank you, Terry. It's time now for our question of the day. The UK is celebrating Christmas Sweater Day today, so we want to know, do you own an ugly Christmas sweater? If you have a picture, make sure to send it in as well. You can text your answer to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response, and don't forget to include your name. It's time for our Pet of the Week. This week, we're celebrating Molson and Bailey. Their family tells us these furry friends love Christmas sweaters, but not so much the antlers. They will do it, though, for treats and cuddles. Molson and Bailey wish you a very Merry Christmas. And those of us at Your Morning Winnipeg wish you one right back. We love your Pet of the Week submissions, so keep them coming, please. Share a photo and a fun story of your pet, dog, cat, bird, or anybody at petoftheweek@ctv.ca, and then make sure to watch Thursdays to see if your pet is named our Pet of the Week. Here's a look at what's happening now on the St. James Bridge. Things are moving well over here. We'll be right back after this short break.
When you give a child a winter coat, you give them the means to go to school on a cold day, a chance to play outside, because no child should be freezing cold. Donate to Coats for Kids. Proudly sponsored by United Way Winnipeg and CTV.
It was a busy day for several liquor marts in the city. The same American booze pulled from shelves in February is now back, but only for a limited time.
Oh, it's there. Oh, yay. So I'll get my 2 bottles or 3 bottles and then I'll be done.
This was the lineup outside the Crestview Liquor Mart Wednesday morning, and inside staff were busy restocking a limited supply of U.S. alcohol products. Yesterday was the first day Manitobans have been able to buy American booze from liquor marts since the products were pulled from the shelves 10 months ago. Some locations already sold out of the most popular brands in this first wave. The MLCC says more inventory will hit the shelves in phases until Christmas Eve. Hockey Winnipeg is calling foul over a movie shoot at a community center it says is costing teams dozens of hours of ice time. The organization says Southdale Community Center is closing its West Rink from January 3rd to the 23rd and its East Rink from January 12th to the 16th. According to Hockey Winnipeg, the closure is to accommodate the filming of a movie. It says this will result in the loss of about 100 hours of scheduled activities, including about 85 hours of ice time, impacting more than 60 teams. Games are being relocated and rescheduled, but will be done so at the expense of practices and development programs. The president of the Southdale Community Center declined comment. The University of Winnipeg has announced its new interim president and vice chancellor. Gino DiStasio, an urban geography professor, will fill the dual role starting Friday. DiStasio has taught at the university for 25 years and served as its vice president of research and innovation for more than a decade. Soon the university will start its search for a permanent president, saying more information will be shared in the new year. The change-up comes after former President Todd Mondor was removed from the position last month. Here's what's happening now on Kenniston Boulevard. Things are picking up over here, but overall moving quite well. It's a cold start to the day, though, so make sure to let your vehicle warm up this morning before heading out.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
Time now for some entertainment news. A local illusionist who's been blowing minds for more than a decade will perform in front of a hometown crowd next fall.
What are you doing? What? Yeah, you got shredded newspaper. Big deal.
Darcy Oak, son of legendary sports broadcaster Scott Oak, is set to take the stage at the Centennial Concert Hall on October 24th. This isn't his first time wowing crowds here in Winnipeg. He also disappeared at the Bombers' home opener 2 years ago. Tickets go on sale Monday through the Centennial Concert Hall box office. A high-powered quartet will co-chair the next Met Gala. Beyonce, Venus Williams, and Nicole Kidman will co-chair the gala in May with Vogue's Anna Wintour. Beyonce is a 7-time gala guest and was an honorary chair in 2013. Kidman has chaired twice before, in 2003 and 2005. Williams has never hosted before. The dress code for the May 4th gala has yet to be announced, but will likely celebrate the Metropolitan Museum of Art's spring exhibit, which celebrates the dressed body. David Letterman has made a return to late night.
And a guy comes up to me and he says, excuse me, are you who I think you are? And then now I'm all loaded up and I respond, well, you know, that depends on who you think I are. That always gets a big laugh. And I said, who do you think I am? And he said, Dick Van Dyke. And I said, no.
He appeared on the Jimmy Kimmel Show to talk about life after late-night TV. It's been 10 years since he last hosted his CBS show and says the time has flown by. He also talked about season 6 of his Netflix show, My Next Guest Needs No Introduction, which will premiere next week. Are you ready for some football? The NFL pregame kicks off at 6. At 7, catch the Falcons versus the Buccaneers. And Children Ruin Everything follows at 10. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
The CTV Primetime lineup is brought to you by Strictly Amish, exclusively in Arborg, Manitoba.
I still think David Letterman is funny. He's pretty good.
I mean, most definitely has his moments. He was iconic. I always feel bad when some clips play from, you know,
that era.
Yes. When, you know.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Exactly. And so, I mean, humor was just different, and it doesn't necessarily translate to today, and it can't necessarily be, you know, played outside of context. But anyway, he was iconic for sure, and ruled the airwaves for his time.
Yes, he did.
And he does look like Dick Van Dyke. All right, let's take a look.
Healthy.
Yes. Let's take a look at these numbers this morning and see what we're waking up to. First, a glance through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. And those lights glowing out there, so pretty with the fresh dusting of snow that we got. And yes, everything is looking a little bit like a winter wonderland. That snow from yesterday mostly has been cleared from the streets, so that'll make your commute better, but it still looks so pretty out there. And as far as temperatures go, mid-minus teens, that's what we're waking up to this morning, at least through central and southern Manitoba, moving up into northern Manitoba. And you can see it's considerably colder, especially here in the northeast, as we're pushing up into those low to mid-minus 20s, and then factoring in winds on top of that. And it does have a bit more of a bite. A minus 30 wind chill value at the moment over in Churchill, and mid-minus 20s is what it's feeling like through the rest of northern Manitoba. Low minus 20s here in the south, so you will want those extra layers on. The winds, they're not intense, but it does still add that extra little bit of a burr. That's what I'm talking about. There you can see the snow falling just to the west of us right now. More through northern Manitoba. Doesn't ever show up on the satellite image, but you can expect, especially in the northwest and tracking further into the northeast as the day goes on. Mainly cloudy conditions here in Winnipeg, although some parts of southern Manitoba may see some flurries, and we do have the possibility of a few scattered flakes of snow. Temperature-wise, we'll be on the rise to a high of minus 11, which is just shy of seasonal minus 9. That's normal for this time of year, but we'll fall further from that number as we drop throughout the day tomorrow. So a bit of a deep freeze as we're wrapping up the work week and kicking off the weekend. Things will be improving, and in fact, maybe too much so. Up around the freezing mark is where we're headed early next week. And I love this shot of a crow. So much detail. What an incredible capture, Neil. So thank you for this. And keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca.
Thanks, Terry. It's an unfortunate reality as we inch closer to the holidays. A sizable number of Canadians are feeling far from festive. The dark days of December are triggering a rise in seasonal depression and winter fatigue. And as CTV's Emma Convey shows us, experts say now is the time to pay attention to our mental health.
As winter sets in and daylight fades, moods can dip.
But inside this local gym, the lights are bright, music is loud, and people are sweating their way to a clearer head.
Exercise affects your mental health in a number of ways. Mostly it brings down stress levels because, and it sounds counterintuitive, but the more you put out in an exercise and you work out, the more your stress level drops down. If your stress level is lower, then you just feel better.
Movement can make a big difference, something many Maritimers are looking for as seasonal depression sets in.
Stats show that depression, stress, and burnout is higher than it's ever been. And that's regardless of the season. Like, we're absolutely seeing that. And then I think the season adds to it.
Sadness, low energy, lack of motivation, and disinterest in things you normally enjoy. All are common signs of seasonal affective disorder.
Do some meditations, just have some more peaceful time. I also think, Emma, what's really important is as we connect with ourselves, we also want to connect with others. And I mean real connection. 5 minutes of real connection with your loved ones can give you a little bit more of that energy that we're really craving this time of year.
With 2 weeks to Christmas, experts say many people spend less time focusing on their health.
Take some walks during the day. That will help you, even if it's 10 minutes long. Number 2, eat healthy during the week. Those 5 days, eat healthy, do what you want on the weekends. And number 3, make sure you sweat.
Emma Convey, CTV News, Halifax.
Deck the halls for your chance to win and be featured on your Morning Winnipeg. Here at your Morning, we love the sights of the season, and we want to see how you've decorated for the holidays. All those nutcrackers, lights, and trees could help you win a $500 gift card from Red River Co-op and have the chance to show off your holiday house live on your Morning Winnipeg with a visit from Ainsley McPhail. To enter, head to our contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca, fill out the form, and submit some pictures, please. Good luck. Coming up, we're live at Zoo at the Lights, or Lights at the Zoo. Stay with us for more. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who is live this morning at Zoo Lights. It looks amazing behind you there, Ainsley. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, this is the first time this season that we've been through the light maze, so bear with us if we're, walking into some of the lights. Mike Friesen joins us. Hi. This is the largest light display like this in Manitoba. How did you guys put it all together?
So we put it all together with, actually, to be honest, really basic materials. We used security fencing, and we created this really cool light maze, and we put about 20,000 LEDs onto the maze then to light it up for everyone.
20,000, how long does that take?
So a long time. It does take about a team of 4 people, roughly a week, to set up the fencing. I mean, it starts with designing. Our guy, Tim, he designs the maze every year. Then we put up the lights, and then powering. Powering, as always, it takes a surprisingly long amount of time.
And there's a rainbow as well. It's just so stunning to look at. How do you decide on the colors? Is that part of the design as well?
For the maze, we always wanted to make it as colorful as possible. So there's everything from, if you know your Christmas lights, there's warm white, cool white, there's purple, green, blue, turquoise, pink, everything, we got it all.
It's really great for kids, right? And there's kind of a mystery to find the Winstons.
Yeah, so I think, us with the zoo, we've kind of made it like a bit of a scavenger hunt when you're in the maze. So kids love it. You see them often racing around here. They're looking for the Winstons on the wall. I don't see one right now.
I don't either, no.
But there's Winstons, and then there's also a Christmas light selfie spot for people brave enough to venture into the maze.
Mike, I spotted one. I spotted one over there. Kenny, can you find it?
It might be harder to get there than it looks because this is a maze.
Climb the fence. Okay, outside of the maze, though, lots to see here. 1.7 million lights. Explain for our audience just how vast it is.
So this maze that we're walking through now is just a tiny postage stamp of the entire Zoo Lights display. So the Zoo Lights display, I think I said roughly a week to put this up. We start at Labor Day, the day after Labor Day, every year putting up all these lights. And yes, they all come down every year.
How long does that take?
Also an incredibly long amount of time. And the reason why is because there's so many squirrels around. You can just imagine. So, but every year we make Zoo Lights different, special. Every year there's something new, and every year there's more lights.
That's hilarious. Okay, that's so great. We have more details coming up, and Santa Claus might be involved. We're chatting about him at 7:42.
Well, thank you. You could tell it's a little chilly there this morning, but this morning when I was walking in, I found it was really slippery as well. You have to be mindful of that as well.
Ooh, yeah. So sometimes that's the case too, right? As soon as something takes that snow off, like a grater or a snowplow, something along those lines, unless you're throwing something gritty down behind it, it can be quite slick. So do keep in mind for anybody who's out and about today that you don't just have to dress for it, you have to mind your footing as well. It's minus 14 outside. What are we looking at? Is that the Forks? That's pretty. Speaking of lights, yeah, it is the Forks. Thank you. Minus 14 feels like minus 22 with south winds 17 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling. Humidity sitting at 83%. It's always sometimes a bit of a game when they throw these images up and you know it's somewhere in the city, but it's dark and you can't quite tell. Anyway, the Forks is looking pretty and festive. And if you want to head on down there, again, the extra layers are needed. We might be seeing a little more light snow. When I was upstairs on the roof, I was just starting to see a few ice crystals, and you could see this system getting a little bit closer to Winnipeg. It moves up into northern Manitoba as well. It just doesn't show on the satellite image, but there too you can expect to deal with some snow and even a better chance throughout the day today. We have that chance throughout the day as we rise to minus 11. Minus 9 is a normal daytime high, so we're almost in that place of what is normal for this time of year. The winds today, moderate, light in fact, out of the south at about 15 kilometers per hour. Into the evening time, there's actually a better chance of seeing some of that flurry activity picking up. We're also going to notice a shift in the winds out of the northwest, gusting to 50 kilometers per hour. And we're dropping down to minus 19 overnight, but then we're going to continue to drop another couple of degrees throughout the day tomorrow. The sky will begin to clear, but the winds remaining strong will fall to about minus 21. Saturday will also be a cold day. On the clearer side, we'll enjoy some sunshine, but minus 20 is expected. A little bit closer to seasonal for the start of next week, and then suddenly this one day where those temperatures bounce up to the freezing mark.
The final open house was held Wednesday evening for a major planned development in South Transcona. The proposed development will encompass 1,300 acres around Dugald and Plessis Road near the golf course. Officials discussed different concepts for development, including the type of housing that could go in, transportation, and wastewater services. This is one of the most contentious elements for existing landowners. Some residents previously told CTV News they'll be saddled with huge bills if they're required to hook up to a proposed water and sewer system. The next step is for a secondary development plan to be drafted, and then it will go through the approval process at City Hall. A new report is offering strategies to curb the growing number of threats and harassment against local politicians and municipal staff.
Once they're in it, they're saying, hey, I'm out of here. And, you know, good people are stepping away from it.
The Association of Manitoba Municipalities have released a 73-page document with 130 recommendations. It says a growing climate of distrust and often outright harassment aimed at local politicians and officials is deterring people from running for office and chasing out some office holders before their term is up. Recommendations include scrubbing personal information from social media, keeping detailed records of harassment, and even something as simple as greeting people at the door of what could be a contentious meeting.
A lot of this is common sense, but a lot of this will help us to deal with the public in a better way.
The report was presented at a summit in Toronto. According to the AMM, representatives from Scotland and Sri Lanka were interested in learning more about the tips in the report. It began in Nova Scotia. Manitoba got on board this week, and now PEI is the latest province to sell off its U.S. alcohol. The province has an estimated $3.2 million worth of alcohol in stock. The sale can bring in as much as $600,000 in profit, which will be donated to food banks across the province. As PEI starts its sale, there are questions why Ontario isn't doing the same. Meanwhile, it's a maybe from Ontario Premier Doug Ford on whether the province will sell off its stock of U.S. booze for charity. The government says breweries and winemakers in the province have seen a boost since U.S. competition was sent to storage. Ontario is sitting on $80 million worth of unsold U.S. alcohol. About $2 million of that is about to expire. For his part, the CEO of Ontario's Daily Bread Food Bank says he'd love to see the money go towards structural changes to keep people from needing food banks in the first place. Workers at a Halifax vintage shop say a shoplifter wore thousands of dollars worth of stolen clothes right out of the store.
So far, what we've tallied is about $3,000 in merchandise, but we're still waiting on some of our other vendors to get back to us on their prices.
Security footage shows the alleged shoplifter walking upstairs. She then put on as many items as she could before leaving. At one point, she is seen sticking her tongue out at the security camera. Some of the items include hats, sweats, jackets, and a Mario Lemieux Team Canada jersey. The store rents out space to local vendors who have also lost money because of this theft. A police report has been filed, and the vendors are hoping some of the clothes can be recovered. The deadline is fast approaching for Canadians to get a slice of the $500 million class action settlement in the bread price fixing case. The suit accused Loblaw and its parent company, George Weston, of engaging in an industry-wide scheme. Canadians have until Friday to submit an online claim if they bought packaged bread between January 2001 and December 2021 and did not previously accept a gift card from Loblaw. Once that distribution is complete, any leftover money will be divided among anyone who claimed the earlier gift card. Some road closures to remind you about this morning. Following the rush, the westbound curb lane on Cordon will be closed between Arbuthnot to Lilac. On Academy, the eastbound curb lane will be closed between Montrose to Waverly, and the westbound Sargent curb lane will be closed between Strathcona to Empress. If you have any other traffic tips, please let us know. Here's a look now at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.27. The provincial average is $1.15. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.13. And the lowest price in Winnipeg, $1.09. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your car today.
It's a cold start to the day. It's minus 14 with the wind chill. Feels like minus 22. More Your Morning Winnipeg after this break.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
Looking outside, it's minus 14 with some heavier clouds hanging around the city. The winds out of the south on the lighter, more moderate side. They're just 17 kilometers per hour. Pressure is falling. The humidity sitting at 83%, though it does feel more like minus 22 because of that moderate breeze. Now we're looking at the satellite image and you can see the activity just off to the west of us. That's the flurry activity moving across southern Manitoba, getting very close to us here in Winnipeg again. But there's more moving through northern Manitoba. It never reads on the satellite image. The radars don't capture the snowfall in that area, but you can bet that there's going to be some, especially in the northwest. Into the northeast is where it's going to be moving, and it might take a little more time. So for some, you just might deal with some heavier clouds through the day, and other places will perhaps begin to see some of that precipitation as the day goes on. Mid to high minus teens, that's what you can expect out of the northeastern part of the province, and here in the northwest, very similar temperatures, maybe a little bit milder in Norway House, just barely into those minus double digits. But things might look a little more active with that snowfall throughout the day through much of northwestern Manitoba. Central Manitoba, you're likely to encounter some of those flurries as well. Further into the south, maybe just some clouds. Now, minus 9 is a normal daytime high, and parts of southwestern Manitoba might in fact get to those numbers. And perhaps a couple places just off to the east could get to that more seasonal minus 9. We'll be just shy of it at minus 11 today, with heavier clouds lingering. A few more places to the west of us and just to the north of us have a slightly better chance of seeing that precipitation. Although it is possible that we get some flurries today, a better chance that we see some of that activity moving through overnight. Northwestern Ontario, just a little bit further to the east, more likely to just encounter clouds throughout the day today and not necessarily the snow. Now, temperatures today close to seasonal. Minus 9, I mentioned, is normal, but we're falling a lot further from that number as those temperatures drop throughout the day tomorrow and settle into the deep freeze as we're kicking off the weekend.
Hey, Terry, let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at Zoo Lights. And it's really an amazing show. As the sun slowly gets up, they start to dim a little bit in the background, but still beautiful.
Oh, it's stunning. I just loved walking through the light maze over there. But now we get to go from the maze to the tunnel. And guess what? There's more lights than ever before. Danny's joining me once again to tell us all about it. It really is a spectacle, isn't it?
Oh, it is so beautiful, and it's just more magical every year. And one of the really exciting new things, among new lights, new things coming on, is our New Year's Eve celebrations happening on December 31st and January 1st. We've got so much coming up. It's so exciting.
There's a dance party?
Yeah, so for New Year's Eve, so bring on the kids, family-friendly event. We've got a live music. We've got a dance party with Squid Squad. We've got fire dancers, special food and drink specials. And then we'll also have a light celebration, kind of like a dropping of the ball kind of vibe. But we're going to do it throughout the night so the kids can enjoy it and then get to bed at a good hour. So very exciting. But we'll be open till 1 a.m. for the adults to come on down to Zoo Lights.
Oh, wow. It seems like you guys are just adding and adding and adding.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And it's so great how everyone's been receiving it. And it's just so much fun to not only work with what's been working well and with the teams, but we're also taking people's suggestions in mind and improving every year, such as those additional fire pits we talked about earlier.
And Santa, I can't not talk about Santa Claus. I'm just so excited for the kids to be able to have an additional photo. And there's 30 total nights of Zoo Lights.
Yes, absolutely. So we started November 21st, and so now we're going all the way till January 1st. We're open Wednesday to Sunday nights, and then once we get to the holidays, open every day except for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Our final night, January 1st, we'll do a nice little kickoff for New Year's Day. So that's extra food and drink specials, and also live fiddling with the Wrigley Brothers. It's very exciting.
Oh, man, I love it. It's just a laundry list. Before we're out of time, anything else you want people to know?
Just letting people know to dress for the weather. It is chilly, but that's what makes Zoo Lights that much more magical. And make sure to book your tickets online. They're date and time specific. And everything else you need to know, assiniboinepark.ca.
Thank you so much. And you know what? Any excuse to have a hot chocolate. And at 8:06, we're going to do just that.
Okay, thank you, Ainsley. With rising costs in the holidays, many Canadians are feeling financial anxieties this time of year. CTV's Andrew Johnson has more on what families are planning on spending on gifts and who they're turning to help pay for them.
On a gray and wet day in Vancouver, holiday shoppers are battling the weather and what's happening to their wallets.
Because everything is expensive now, and I just work part-time.
How's your budget looking? Threadbare?
They're not alone. Among the hundreds of Canadian parents recently surveyed by Interact, 2/3 say rising costs are making it harder to manage holiday spending. And more than half are worried about overspending.
You're going to stick to the budget?
I'm sticking to the budget.
As for that holiday budget, close to half of parents surveyed say they plan to spend less than $500 on gifts. A quarter are budgeting $500 to $1,000, and nearly 3 in 10 plan to spend $1,000 or more.
What kinds of gifts are you getting your 33-year-old?
Perhaps he's going to watch this thing.
That's right.
I'd rather not say.
Some parents are calling in reinforcements. More than 1 in 5 are relying on grandparents for holiday help. A third say the grandparents are spending more than they are.
We are very fortunate. We have a lot of grandparent help. My son wants a trip, so my grandparents are contributing to money towards the trip.
In this time of tight budgets and packed schedules, one shopper offers some sage seasonal advice.
Learn to relax. There's a little bit of joy in being able to give yourself space to breathe.
But Christmas white knuckling can continue well past the 25th. Almost 2 in 5 parents admit digging themselves a financial hole every holiday season, with close to half saying it usually takes them until spring to recover. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Let's see who's celebrating a milestone today. Happy 8th birthday greetings to granddaughter Anna Ray with love of love from Papa and Granny, brother Marshall, Daddy, cousin Mackenzie, and family. Happy 11th birthday, Jacob, and happy 4th birthday, Sybil, and love Grammy and Papa. Happy sweet 16th birthday to Michaela, love Dad, Mom, and Joshua. Happy 16th birthday, Xander, with love from your family. Happy 75th birthday, Gloria, love from your family. Happy birthday to Cabin, love from Mom, Isaac, Tor, Bodie, Denise, Mika, Chandra, and Basilina. And a happy 19th birthday to Patrick. Family and friends wish you a great trip to Sweden. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Weather brought to you by the Winnipeg Humane Society. From all the dogs, cats, and critters, thank you for your kindness.
Well, after those temperatures dropped throughout the day yesterday, you'll probably find today to be a little more pleasant, closer to seasonal as we climb to -11. Normals this time of year, that would be a daytime high of -9. Now, last year, that was a cold one, -24.7. The record, +9. Could you imagine that this time of year? Sure, better than last year. And today will be better than last year. -24 is the daytime high. Got to bundle up for that. Although we're going to be sliding to very similar temperatures throughout the afternoon tomorrow and staying there through Saturday. So just brace yourself because we too are in for a little bit of a deep freeze. Couple of days at least. -14 is where we're sitting right now, and I'm starting to see a few more scattered flakes of snow out here, some heavier clouds, and a bit of a breeze. It's out of the south, 17 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, the humidity sitting at 83%, and yeah, it's feeling more like -22. That's what you're going to want to dress for today with those extra layers, some gloves, some boots, and maybe a little something on your head too. If I was out here for long periods of time, I've got my toque. I always wear it for my walk home. Keeps my ears warm. Now, as far as the day goes, like I said, today will be quite pleasant with the temperatures closer to seasonal than what they'll be over the next couple of days. The heavier clouds will linger. We'll probably see a few flakes of snow and an even better chance of that flurry activity through northern Manitoba, or even more so here in the south for this evening and overnight. And then, yes, tomorrow, brace yourself because those temperatures are going to slide.
There are many seniors who have no family, no living relatives, or even friends to gather with this holiday season. Many will wake up on Christmas morning with no gifts to open and no loved ones to celebrate with. That's why A&O Support Services for Older Adults is putting on its annual program called Be a Santa to a Senior. Joining us now to tell us more about this program and the work that A&O Support Services for Older Adults does is Amanda McRae. Good morning, Amanda.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. This program is so fantastic. You are already in the midst of it. You're already delivering some of these Be a Santa to a Senior. Tell us a little bit about the pickup this year and the need.
Oh, there's such a huge need. So it's in its 18th year, this Be a Santa to a Senior program. And there are folks that are isolated, more vulnerable, at risk maybe. And they aren't asking for elaborate gifts. They're asking for, sometimes for food for their pets instead of for themselves. Okay. So there's some really basic needs that people are looking at filling, and it fills such a huge place in their heart. We get such lovely letters saying thank you so much. This means so much to me. I haven't received a gift since my partner passed. Aww. Or if something resonates, one of our donors gave something with a cardinal on it, which was really meaningful to this one older person. And they received it and they said, oh my goodness, I can't believe that there's someone out there so thoughtful, because the meaning of this cardinal bird was just resonated with them and brought them to tears. So it's sometimes to us it seems like a little thing, but it is a very powerful, meaningful act to do, to provide a gift like this to an older adult over the holidays. It's really beautiful, really, when a stranger gives you a gift that means so much. And it's so successful. You're in the midst of delivering some of these packages already. Tell us about how many packages are being delivered. Well, this year we're at 950 gifts that are being given to older adults living independently in community still. So we have sort of a team of elves that come from everywhere. So we have partnership with Winnipeg Police Service. There are hockey teams, ringette teams, workplaces, and people come to our office that is heaped with gifts right now and fill up their vehicles and go and deliver. That's amazing. So it's a lovely program, and it's something that, you know, it's great to do over the holidays, but we also need to look at sustaining some of these efforts for older people in our city. Okay, so after the holidays are over, the need is still there, obviously. Correct, yeah. What do you want the public to know about what you need moving forward in 2026? Yes, so I think if you are thinking, oh, I really wanted to give to Be a Santa, it's not too late. It sounds a little bit like you would like to do more, but a cash donation this year would be held on for next year's gift, right? Okay. So our elves go out and purchase for next year. We also have a really great program program that is the food security line, which provides hampers to people in need, and they get 1 hamper a month. It doesn't sound like much, but that is a really critical program that we need to sustain for people. So if that's something you want to do more immediately now, we definitely would be looking at donations for that. So if people are interested, they can definitely go to our website.
Tell us what A&O does exactly.
Sure. A&O has been around since 1957, and we provide specialized social services to older Manitobans. So under 3 pillars: safety and security, social engagement, and counseling. So we have a team of social workers that can provide a variety of support. So some of these things we don't often like to talk about, but we have programs like older victim services. We help people who are experiencing hoarding disorder that places them at risk for fires, falls, or evictions. We have a falls prevention program, which we know, living in Winnipeg, living in Manitoba, it's not very warm and we have ice. So we really try to keep people healthy, staying on their feet longer, which also allows us to live independently and healthy longer.
That's amazing. So if you want to support this cause, you can check out a link on our website. Thanks, Amanda.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Community Connection is brought to you by Mr. Reuter Plumbing. Born to be a hero, trained to be a plumber.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. We are taking a trip to Utah for this one. It is the Panthers and Mammoth. Nick Schmaltz leads the 2-on-1, finds Clayton Keller, robbed by the glove of Sergei Bobrovsky. Keller eyeing the open net, but Bobrovsky finds a way to get in front of the shot and makes an incredible save. That right there, definitely worthy of your must-see moment. Meanwhile, tonight on TSN, we're kicking off Week 15 in the NFL. You got an NFC South battle between the Falcons and Bucks. Coverage beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a tremendous Thursday.
The TSN Must-See Moment is brought to you by Super Blinds, helping your home get holiday ready with Blinds by Hunter Douglas.
To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Milestones is brought to you by Party Stuff. 3 Winnipeg locations and at partystuff.ca.
It's Thursday, December 11th. Bus riders out in the cold. How many transit shelters were taken out during the system restructuring, and how many might eventually be put back at bus stops? Grocery competition. The province's property control legislation is about 6 months old, while some real estate deals involving retailers are viewed as an impediment to lower food prices. And advocating for democracy in South America, why the newest Nobel Peace Prize winner may not be able to return to her home country. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. It's 8 o'clock on your Thursday. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. In the next hour, we have a lot of unique gift ideas for you. Well, that's coming up at 8:15. And then at 8:45, we're going to show you how to make some beautiful handmade cards, festive holiday cards.
Very nice.
We're going to show you how to do that. And it's a
personalized
good
touch.
Exactly. And it's a good thing to do inside when it's this cold anyway. You want to do art.
Just wait for it. I mean, as cold as you might think it is today. Tomorrow, Saturday, ooh, it's going to get worse. That caught me mid-sentence. How pretty is that, the way the sun is kind of glowing through those clouds off to the east? It'll be rising in about 15 minutes time at 8:16 this morning. That is official sunrise here in Winnipeg. Right now, we're sitting at minus 14. It feels like minus 22. That's with the breeze factored in. It's out of the south this morning, 17 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, the humidity sitting at 83%. Now, a little bit of light snow I was just starting to see a few of those flakes falling outside now. You can see it's more active in areas to the west of us, and it is tracking further to the east, so we'll probably find ourselves in the path of that. And then a lot more snow moving across parts of northern Manitoba, which never reads on the satellite image, but here you can see what I'm talking about. Mainly clinging along this western border, at least to kick off the day. It will eventually start to push into parts of the northeast, but for now, that's where it's the clearest today. And in areas just off to the east of us, you can also expect some slightly clearer conditions, but that snow hanging around on the western side and then eventually pushing into the eastern side as well. It might begin to taper off a little bit, but we're still probably going to see some flurries, if not through this afternoon, then another round that kind of moves through into the evening overnight. It will, however, be clearing out for Friday, Saturday. That's when the temperatures really start to drop off. You're going to notice a cool down. So today, minus 11 is what we're expecting for a high temperature, but that temperature will be falling throughout the afternoon tomorrow down to a chilly minus 21 and staying in those low minus 20s as we're moving into the start of the weekend. And it was a joint project today between Allie, 6 years old, and her grandma. What a lovely way to spend some time together. Maybe you want to team up for our pictures. Send your art to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
As colder temperatures set in and more snow piles up on the ground, frustration is growing among Winnipeg Transit users. Many complain they're waiting longer at stops without transit shelters since Transit underwent its largest overhaul in history back in June.
Worse. Why so much worse? The connections don't make sense. Bus routes change at certain times. They end now before 10 o'clock.
Daily Transit rider Nicholas Tugwell says more bus shelters could help ease some rider frustration. According to a city spokesperson, just over 200 bus shelters were relocated from canceled stops to different locations. However, another 150 shelters were removed completely, and the city is in the process of assessing the conditions of those shelters. It hopes to add those shelters to in-service bus stops as soon as possible, but did not provide a concrete timeline. The province's plan to encourage competition in the grocery sector appears to be off to a positive start. It all centers around property controls. Essentially, they're real estate deals signed by grocery stores and supermarkets, which prevent any similar businesses from setting up shop nearby. The province says getting rid of these deals will increase competition and improve affordability for shoppers. It passed a new law in June requiring grocery stores to register a property control if they believed it should be maintained. Any not registered are now considered void. The NHL says it won't compromise player safety to play in next year's Winter Olympics.
If the ice isn't ready and it's not safe, then we're not going. I mean, I think that's pretty self-evident.
NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman and Deputy Bill Daly gave an update on construction for the Olympic rink. Bettman called the slow pace of work disappointing. The NHL has ice experts in Milan right now as testing starts at the secondary rink and training facility. The main rink isn't expected to be ready until late this month or early February. The women's tournament starts February 5th. The Venezuelan opposition leader has come out of hiding to collect her Nobel Peace Prize. Maria Corina Machado appeared in Oslo in the middle of the night. It was the first time she has been seen in public since January. The 58-year-old made the journey after months of hiding and despite a travel ban from the Venezuelan government. The Nobel Institute awarded Machado the prize for her, quote, struggle to achieve a just and peaceful transition from dictatorship to democracy in Venezuela. There is now much speculation about whether she will be able to return safely to Venezuela. Here's what's happening at Portage at Polo Park. Things are picking up over here, but overall moving quite well. The streets are cold, though, so make sure to let your vehicle warm up this morning.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
Zoo Lights has all kinds of different food and beverage options when you go out there to enjoy. Good morning, Ainsley.
Rochelle, this is awesome. I can't wait to show you. But first, before we get to the food, I just saw, we were in the Tundra Grill. I just saw two polar bears sparring. It was one of the most majestical things I've ever seen. You never know. what you're going to see on a Thursday morning. I'll post that to my Instagram so you guys can take it in too. Kristen is joining me from the Tundra Grill. I am overstimulated because there is so much delicious food in front of me, but I know you guys have those warming spaces outside. What could be better than make your own s'mores kits?
Yes, so at our different warming spaces, we have make your own s'more kits. They come with the stick, marshmallows, everything you need to make the s'more. We use marshmallows from Manitoba's local marshmallow factory here in Winnipeg. Nice fresh marshmallows they make in-house. And then we have our gourmet, which is like a birthday cake with a birthday cake chocolate, and then of course our traditional.
Oh my gosh, I'm salivating. If s'mores aren't your thing, you've got plenty of other treats here.
Yes, so we make all of our treats in-house. We have our pretzel sticks, our reindeer-shaped Winston bars, cake pops, and of course you can't have Christmas without gingerbread cookies.
No doubt. Or peppermint hot chocolate. The fact that these are just two that you're showcasing right now is so funny to me because you thought, okay, let's think of every hot chocolate under the sun.
And we came up with it at all of our warming huts and buildings we have. We have Ferrero Rocher, we have a salted caramel, and then of course you can't have Christmas without a peppermint hot chocolate.
No doubt. You've got plans for New Year's Eve as well. So break down what the food items are here.
So for every night, we do have our traditional holiday dinner poutine, turkey, gravy, cranberry sauce, stuffing. And then for New Year's Eve, our special is going to be our Yorkshire roast beef sliders with nice fresh au jus on them. And then for the kids or the adults who are kids at heart, we have our white chocolate firework hot chocolate.
And, well, obviously this looks like fireworks. You did such a phenomenal job. I'm going to try all probably 45 hot chocolates they have here. And then I'll see you at 8:38 in a sugar coma. How about that?
It sounds good. It looks delicious. Thank you, Ainsley. You never know what you may find while you're browsing Facebook Marketplace. A man on a rural property west of Edmonton is selling his time machine. CTV's Matt Woodman reports.
Entering Pat Gooley's workshop can feel like stepping back in time.
I have old machinery around. I've always been interested in that kind of stuff.
If you'd like to go even further back, you can step into his time machine.
The whole purpose of this machine was to simulate what it might be like to be in a time machine.
As a retired carpenter, Gooley spent his career constructing commercial buildings.
You know, they were very serious buildings, so it's fun to build stuff that's kind of whimsical or, you know, a little bit off the wall.
Most of the buttons and switches inside his time machine serve a purpose.
This is all adjustable.
Activating various lights.
This is the plasma.
Even reclining the seats. While it's been paraded around on wheels, it also features 4 retractable landing gears.
When you travel into time, you never know what you're going to land on.
Now that his 6 grandchildren have outgrown it, he's selling it for $850.
Somebody that's maybe a little more tech savvy than me can take it to the next level. Maybe actually go through time.
Thousands of people have viewed his ad, although only a few seem to be serious buyers.
And I've had a lot of people asking me, does it actually work? My wife thinks that these people are joking, but I have a feeling 2 or 3 of them maybe are not joking.
If this was more than a simulator, Gooley says he'd like to witness the Wright brothers' first flight. Gooley's passion for aircraft is part of the reason he also built this. This is Starship.
I thought maybe, Matt, I'd get you to go inside.
Just like his time machine, there's controllable features like adjustable wings.
They'll go to about a 45 degree.
Increasable thrust. And shootable lasers.
What are you thinking when you sit in there? I'm thinking I want to put in an offer, I mean. Imagine rolling into work in this thing.
Yeah.
And with this, you'd only be on time.
Gooley says he'll eventually put his Starship on the market too. What's in store for his next build? Only time will tell. Matt Woodman, CTV News, Glen Nevis, Alberta.
Beautiful start to your morning as we look now through the Bath Fitter Live Eye. Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years, and it is so nice to see those streets cleared. Most of the major routes anyway. A lot of the side streets or residential streets have not yet been addressed, but the commute itself will be far better than it was yesterday morning with that thick, heavy snow obscuring all the lanes, and you didn't know where you were. Actually, do you know what I did yesterday? I used to report traffic. I know this city inside out and backwards, except there were no lanes, and I actually pulled into oncoming traffic because I thought it was a left-hand turn lane. I also don't know why I just said that on TV. Anyway, I backed out. It was all fine. Can I rewind that comment too? Anyway, minus 14, that's where we're sitting right now. Similar temperatures all throughout the southern part of the province. Moving up into northern Manitoba, high minus teens, low minus 20s. It was safe, don't worry, nobody was hurt in the process. Anyway, back to the numbers. You can see the wind chill does have a bit of an effect. It's feeling in the minus 30s up through northern Manitoba and low minus 20s here in the south. There's the snow. A little more is likely to fall today, and that's the case right across the province. We might see it tapering off, and certainly heavier clouds will linger from minus 13 to minus 12 at lunchtime, and our high today of minus 11. That's still a little bit shy of seasonal, minus 9. That's normal for this time of year. It will be cooling down, though, over the next couple of days. So take today as a bit of a gift when we're closer to seasonal temperatures, because we'll be sliding into the deep freeze Friday, Saturday, and then gets a little bit better after that with one big jump up as we're looking ahead to Tuesday. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with your Morning Winnipeg.
We all know just how cold Manitoba winters can be. Imagine not having a winter coat, boots, a toque, or mitts, and stepping out into the cold. That's the reality for many kids. But you can change that. Give the gift of warmth. Donate to Coats for Kids.
Oracle taking a hit in early trading after the company reported a jump in spending on AI data centers and other equipment, rising outlays that are taking longer to translate into cloud revenue than investors want. Fiscal second quarter cloud sales increased 34% to $7.98 billion, while revenues in the company's closely watched infrastructure business gained 68% to $4.08 billion. Both numbers fell just short, though, of analysts' estimates. U.S. forces have seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela it says was being used to transport sanctioned oil from Venezuela and Iran. It is a sharp escalation in Washington's pressure campaign against Nicolas Maduro's government. Now, Caracas swiftly denounced the action, calling it an act of international piracy. Earlier, President Maduro declared that Venezuela would never become an oil colony. Venezuela has some of the largest proven oil reserves in the world. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
If you're looking for a unique gift idea while supporting local and socially responsible global finds, the Two Macaws Concept Store has a lot of great options at this time of year. Joining us now is Noor from Two Macaws Concept Store. Good morning, Noor.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, I can't wait to get into all of this because you brought so many cool and unique gift ideas. But let's talk about what inspired the store in the first place, the name itself.
So I moved to Winnipeg last year after living a nomad life and traveling all over the world, and I wanted to bring back the beauty I saw in the world and share it with the city I chose as home.
Yeah.
So the store kind of came as a result of my travels and wanting to just share like the beauty, because there's so much to see in the world, and bringing that to home.
That is amazing. Yeah. And you not only have locally made products, but you also have pieces of unique gift ideas from all around the world, right?
Yes, so it's a good mix of some unique local artists and creatives that make really, really cool things and that represent Winnipeg truly. And then I have things from all over the world that I saw while I was traveling and wanted to bring it back.
Okay, so let's get started because there's so much to cover here. Let's talk about some of these pieces here. This, of course, is the giant clock at Portage Place Mall. Tell us a little bit about this piece.
That is a limited edition lino-cut print made by Winnipeg artist Cora Ans, and it's just true Winnipeg, especially with Portage Place now and all the changes coming.
Yes.
So it's just such a good reminder and like a piece of Winnipeg.
A piece of history in your home forever. Okay,
yeah.
This piece of art is gorgeous. A great gift idea.
This is by Jordan Miller, and she makes incredible art, and she was the owner of Creatory.
Right.
And this is one of the many pieces we have in store by Jordan.
Okay, and so let's talk about these stockings here in the front. What are those from?
So they are all handmade in India. There's a couple different kinds. We have the Kanta patchwork and the Turkish rug, but also some block printed stockings.
Okay.
So kind of everything is handmade.
Which is so cool. Okay, let's talk about these gifts, because I think it's a book, which I love books, but this is kind of like a date, a blind date with a book.
It is a blind date with a book, so you don't know what book is going to be there. It's also a great way to repurpose books because they're all used, or like older library books.
Okay.
And it tells you the genre of the book on there, and that's all you know. So it's great for a solo date or as a gift for somebody who likes to read, but you're not quite sure what to get them.
That is so cool, and this is wrapped for you already. All you have to do is throw it under the tree.
Throw it under the tree.
I love that idea.
Nothing else needed.
Okay, let's talk about this item, because this is made in France.
Yes.
And it's the same packaging in which it was created back in the day.
In 1878. This company has been around forever, and it's a really good product, especially for Winnipeg.
Yeah.
It is a hydrating jelly for your hands and feet, and it just works so incredibly well. And
oh my gosh, and I love the packaging. We got to talk about these perfumes, please.
No, I grew up in India, so I had to bring these here. I work with a company that is trying to revive a century-old craft of making perfume. They come from the perfume capital of India in Kannauj, and everything is handmade. So even the boxes, the notes that are written inside is handmade. Everything, they come in little pouches. Absolutely everything is handmade, and nothing is added, so this is as pure as perfume gets.
You just need a drop of this stuff, not too much. We're 30 seconds in. You have these beautiful tree decorations. These are handmade locally, and you're offering workshops, right?
Yes, so we have a workshop coming up on October the 17th in store, and Karina from Kind and Kindle is going to teach us how to make our own ornaments.
Okay, so if someone wants to check out your shop for themselves, where are you located?
68 Albert Street and the Exchange.
Look at this. Such unique gift ideas. You won't find it anywhere else. Thank you, Noor.
Thank you.
All right, such pretty stuff indoors, but it's looking pretty outdoors too. Now that snow has really started to pick up, visibility has reduced, so just keep that in mind, and you might notice some traction reducing as this snow continues to fall. Is minus 14 right now, feeling like minus 21 once you're factoring in that wind. It's 15 clicks out of the south-southeast. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 83%. And yes, definitely going to call this snowfall now. And like I said, the kind of foggy conditions as well will reduce that visibility. This system is going to kind of roll through the morning hours, and then we're probably going to see it tapering off through a good chunk of the afternoon, only to see it picking up again into the evening overnight. That's when we have another chance of seeing some precipitation in frozen form. It's not exactly cold, not when you compare it to seasonal temperatures, but it will be getting cold. Today we're headed to a high of about minus 11 here in Winnipeg, with similar temperatures all throughout southern Manitoba. Minus 9, pardon me, it would be a normal daytime high, but for tomorrow, I mentioned it's getting cold. Those temperatures will fall overnight down into the high minus teens, and then continue to drop throughout the day tomorrow, and will end up in the low minus 20s. This little crow looking so cute, and what a great shot. Thank you, Neil, for sharing this. Keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca. We're taking a break. We'll be back with your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful, helping your home get holiday ready with blinds from Hunter Douglas.
Here at Your Morning, we love the sights of the season, and we want to see how you've decorated for the holidays. All those nutcrackers, lights, and trees could help you win a $500 gift card from Red River Co-op and have the chance to show off your holiday house live on Your Morning Winnipeg with a visit from Ainsley McPhail. To enter, head to our contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca, fill out the form, and submit some pictures. Good luck.
Showing up disguised as Santa, I almost didn't recognize him. Chef Shahir Massoud traded the chef's hat for a Santa cap. You're looking good. Welcome back to the show.
Well, you know, Terry, I'm not looking to look like Santa all the way here. That's why I'm trying to come up with some healthy recipes this holiday season, if you get what I mean. We're making a chowder today. We're making a chowder, but with a healthy twist, using Butterball's turkey bacon. Get all the applewood smoke flavor you want from a traditional bacon. 85% less fat. 85% less fat.
All right, and you're going to be like a slim Santa.
I'm a lean, mean Santa.
Love it.
I got another little secret to getting a creamy, beautiful chowder, but we start with the bacon. It smells incredible with the applewood smoke flavor, and it gets crispy and golden like traditional bacon. So you crisp it up, take it out of your pan, and then hit it with the usual suspects: onion, celery, garlic. So we're getting big flavor without all those calories from fat. And right away, the onion, the carrot, and celery, it all kind of stokes up the little bits of the bacon on the bottom of your pan.
Nice.
Then you're going to go in, even if it's just frozen corn. Little corn, and potatoes.
Yeah.
'Tis the season, right? So we're getting everything in for an old school chowder. A little bit of chicken stock, and you're going to bring it up to a gentle boil, and then reduce it down to a simmer. Lots of cracked pepper and a good chowder, I think. And then you're going to return back that applewood smoked bacon. And I really like this bacon because it's actual thigh meat. It's real turkey thigh meat.
Look at that. Okay.
That's compressed and smoked. So it's a really, really great alternative if you're looking to cut those calories from fat. While I bring this up to a boil, so I've cut out all that unnecessary fat by using turkey bacon. An old school chowder, Terry, you're going in with whipping cream, 35% whipping cream.
That's not going to be Slim Santa.
I don't want to be Big Santa. I want to be Slim Santa. Cashews that have soaked in a little bit of hot water. Check this out. Now, it's going to get loud, Terry.
Okay, I'm ready.
Me.
Yeah.
But watch.
Oh, actually, that's not loud. I'm not hearing anything. It's only loud at your end. Okay. Look at that.
This is the mixture that's going to go into the soup. And I'm telling you, you would never know there's no full-fat whipping cream. And when I made this for the family, shock and awe.
All that extra protein too, right? Is there?
Exactly.
I think there's protein in the cashews.
Tons of protein in the cashews, and keeps you full. And again, instead of fat, you're getting protein. Watch this. Look. Does this not look
Oh
like
my goodness. Okay, I'm sorry. What was in with the cashews? Was it water or what was it?
Cashews and water. That's it.
That's it. That's
Put
wild.
the cashews,
Okay.
So it is so creamy. And also, instead of an old school chowder where you're thickening it with a roux, with flour, butter, the cashew cream thickens it. It makes it creamy. So I'm getting the potatoes. I'm getting the bacon.
Okay.
I'm getting the corn, the potato.
Let me ask you this, because we're going to run out of time right away. You put all of these things in. Are you blending it down now from that so it's not all chunky, or do you keep it chunky?
I want the chunk of potato. I want the carrot. I want the corn, the celery, the chunk of bacon. And the cashew cream is what you make smooth, and it will thicken your soup. Full recipe on butterball.ca. Go try it. You won't miss anything except the fat.
Okay, I'm loving this. It is soup season. The weather has turned cold. That is going to be on my recipe list. Thank you so much, Shahir. Good seeing you again.
Great to see you.
Think Turkey is brought to you by Manitoba Turkey Producers and Butterball. Meal ideas online. Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
All right, looking outside, the snow is coming down. You can't see it as much from this particular view, but I tell you, I was up on the rooftop 10 minutes ago, and it is really starting to increase now. Minus 14 is where we're sitting. It feels like minus 21 with winds out of the south-southeast, just 15 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 83%. But you can see how the visibility is reduced somewhat. A little bit of fog has set in, and there's the snow in the satellite image. All of that rolling in over us, and we just got those streets cleared of the snow. I don't think this is going to amount to much, but you might notice a little bit of accumulation on the streets, sidewalks, and it could again make those lanes disappear just when we started to see the lines again. Minus 11 is where we're headed today. So with that snow, it's still going to be a fairly pleasant day because not only are we getting at least close to seasonal temperatures, minus 9 being the normal daytime high, we'll deal today with some lighter winds out of the south, only about 15 kilometers per hour. Heavier clouds, yes, that chance of flurries, both through the morning hours, but then increasing into the afternoon, or pardon me, maybe tapering into the afternoon, but beginning again into the evening time as we fall down to -19, and that's when the winds will start to shift out of the northwest up to 50 kilometers per hour, so strong gusty winds overnight, and they'll continue through the day tomorrow. The sky will begin to clear, but that temperature will start to slide, and we're headed down to -21 through the afternoon tomorrow. And then Saturday, staying in the deep freeze, well below seasonal, -20 expected, though the sun will keep shining for us. Then some heavier clouds move in, and the temperatures will start to rise again, and suddenly bouncing up to the freezing mark, only for a day before we're settling back to those more seasonal temperatures early on next week.
The man accused of grabbing a child inside a Winnipeg school washroom is facing more charges. Police say the investigation into the incident at Darwin School 2 weeks ago led them to discover 2 more instances where the suspect was allegedly on school property in violation of a court order. The first happened November 20th when police say a suspect wandered inside a high school after hours, stole a laptop, and left without being detected. Staff only realized later when they reviewed security footage. And then on November 27th, the same day as the incident at Darwin School, police say the suspect returned to the same school and wandered around before staff discovered him and escorted him out. Police did not name the school, but say it was in the Nuidia School Division. The force says 28-year-old Scott William George was rearrested at the Provincial Remand Center Tuesday. He's charged with theft under $5,000 and 2 counts of failure to comply. Police say an alleged impaired driver left a trail of destruction through Dauphin. This is where it all came to an end Monday night. RCMP received multiple calls about an erratic driver. Mounties later discovered the driver had damaged 2 other vehicles, driven over a stop sign and a telecommunications box, knocking out internet service, and narrowly missed a telephone pole. The driver is also accused of resisting arrest, threatening officers, and pulling a fire alarm at the police station. A 35-year-old woman is facing a long list of charges, none of which has been tested in court. Air Transat CEO has commented on the tentative deal that avoided a pilot strike.
There was 2 main reasons why it took so long. First, we undertook a complete overhaul of the pilots' collective agreement, so that was really important to modernize it.
The airline CEO also apologized to customers about delays caused by the dispute. Operations are expected to be fully restored by tonight. Pilots are expected to vote on the deal soon. Some travelers may soon be required to provide their social media handles when trying to get into the U.S. The Trump administration has been increasing its monitoring of international travelers, and now Customs and Border Protection is considering collecting 5 years of social media data from certain people. It would apply to people from about 40 countries, mostly European and Asian countries, who are currently able to travel to the U.S. for tourism or business for 3 months without visas. The announcement also says U.S. Customs could request a list of telephone numbers the person has used over the past 5 years or email addresses used over the past decade. They could also ask for extensive information from the applicant's family members. The public now has 60 days to comment on the proposed changes before going into effect. There are only a few weeks left of 2025, and already Canadians are worried about how they'll be able to afford food, debt, and housing costs next year. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver reports.
The malls may be busy, but this year many Canadians are focused less on presents and more on presents.
Me and all my friends make gifts for each other, and I feel like that makes it so much more lasting, and it's not like a cost worry thing in the holidays.
This holiday season, economic anxiety is high. According to a new Nanos report, 42% of people rank grocery prices as their top financial concern. 17% say their biggest concern is personal debt. 16% housing costs, 8% job security, and just 8% say they have no financial concerns.
It doesn't matter how you cut it. The fact of the matter is 9 out of every 10 Canadians are feeling the economic squeeze in terms of the rising cost of housing, the rising cost of groceries, worried about personal debt, or even just worried about job security.
The financial stress being tied to uncertainty around tariffs and the high cost of living.
Recently, I've been trying not to go to the grocery store as much, but every time I go, I'll only buy the essentials, maybe 10 items, and I end up spending $100. It's insane.
And for those wishing for prices to come down, the Bank of Canada says that would actually be bad news.
If we were to try to push the whole price level down, that would cause a severe recession in Canada. Nobody wants that.
So what can Canadians do to help their financial future? Experts say try tracking where money is coming in and going out.
When you do this, you kind of figure out what's
what you're really spending money on and what's important. And again, a lot of people, this is challenging. This is the whole budgeting, which if behind every good financial plan, there's a solid budget.
While the Bank of Canada expects inflation to hover around 2% next year, many experts believe that food prices will increase between 4 and 6%.
Here's a look at what's happening now on the Norwood Bridge. It looks like things are moving well over here. We have no issues to tell you about in this part of the city, but we do have a traffic note to tell you about. A crash is blocking the eastbound median lane on Grant at Oakdale. If you have any other traffic tips to share with us, text them to us, please. Here's a look now at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.27. The provincial average is $1.15. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.13, and the lowest price in Winnipeg is $1.09. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your car today.
For our question of the day, we wanted to know, do you own an ugly Christmas sweater? Louise says, one ugly Christmas sweater. I have multiple ugly Christmas sweaters, at least one for each day of the week. Thank you so much, Louise. Let's go now to Ainsley, who is live at Zoo Lights this morning. It's a great place to visit, and you still have lots of time to do so. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning. Yeah, 30 days of Zoo Lights, even New Year's festivities too. We're going to learn all about that now. Danny's joining me, but first, Danny, where are we sitting right now?
We are hanging out in our little Santa village here, so when folks can come down to Zoo Lights, you can get your photo with Santa all the way up to December 23rd. And then, of course, he heads off, delivers presents throughout the world. And so then after that, when we reopen on Boxing Day, because we'll be closed Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, we'll have winter characters coming on down. And I heard a rumor, well, maybe I didn't hear a rumor, but last year we had Vacation Santa came. So maybe he'll come take a vacation here. I don't know what winter characters are coming, but you'll have to come by and check it out.
Oh, he's got like a Hawaiian t-shirt. That's so funny.
He did.
Like Vacation Santa. Yeah. There's something that's really neat about this space in general is the baby houses.
Yeah, so we had these beautiful little houses throughout Broomstick Bay at Boo at the Zoo, and the kids loved it. One of my colleagues, her kid, you had to pull them out of there because they were so cute. So we brought a few of them back in here. This is our marquee tent. So you can come, have a drink, have a hot chocolate, warm up, get some photos with Santa, and enjoy these little houses. They're super cute. I personally don't want to fit in them. They're a little too small for me, but for the kids, they love it.
You know what? I love a challenge. I love a challenge. You won't catch me singing, although I do love holiday carols. You can get some live performances.
Yeah, so a new thing this year is we have roving carolers. So they have a few spots throughout Zoo Lights that you can catch them and singing beautifully. I heard that there's one that has been singing sea shanties, so that would be pretty cool to catch. I'm not 100% sure which days they're performing, but it's been really, really cool. It's nice to add that extra element of surprise when people come down.
Mm-hmm. You can come for before Christmas and then New Year's as well. Tell us about what's going on there.
Yeah, so our new event is with our New Year's Eve celebrations. We've got live music, we've got performances from Squid Squad, we've got food and drink specials, fire dancers, and we're also doing a little bit of like a light celebration to count down the new year, and it's going to be throughout the night so kids don't have to miss out when they have to go to bed before the light strikes 12. And then at New Year's Day, which is our last day of Zoo Lights, we're going to have food and drink specials again and live fiddling from the Wrigley Brothers, so that'll be really fun.
That's awesome. Time just flies. I felt like we were just at Boo at the Zoo, and now we're all already celebrating Christmas.
We're here, indeed. Okay, thank you. Let's go out to the rooftop now. It looks like there's a little bit of snow falling there.
There's a fair bit of snow falling. I mean, they're tiny little flakes. It's not those big fat flakes, but they're quite dense, like as far as the frequency. So, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, there's lots of snow out here. I've got it hanging on my hood just to try and keep my hair dry right now. It's -14. It feels like -21. The breeze on the lighter side, though, just 15 clicks out of the south-southeast. The pressure is falling, and the humidity sitting at no, it's not. It's at 83%. And yes, I'm already starting to see things kind of accumulating on the ground. Where the crew had shoveled this morning, there's now a light dusting of snow, and that's probably going to be the case out on the streets again. So you might notice notice those lanes disappearing. You just got those lines back again with the snowplows that went through after yesterday's snow, but now as it begins to fall today, that might reduce somewhat. So give yourself some extra time for the commute. If you're walking, you might notice traction reduce. Otherwise, it's pretty out here. Put some snow boots on, put your bigger jacket on, or some extra layers, mitts, gloves, a toque, maybe, perhaps, or something to keep your head warm. And enjoy today, because then we're headed into the deep freeze. Temperatures plummeting through tomorrow afternoon and staying cold right into Saturday. Taking a break right now. We'll be back with more CTV Morning Live.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
The holiday season is here, and this year more people may be hitting up secondhand stores as they look to save some money while shopping for gifts. CTV's Pat Foran has more on thrifting.
Vintage Vendors in Oshawa describes itself as retro, antique, and unique, but it's also part of the thrifting culture taking hold with many consumers. Susan Johnson says there are more than 100 vendors here with items that could make for a great present.
The stigma of buying used items and giving them as gifts has gone away.
Retro Christmas goods are highly sought after at this time of year. Another popular segment is vintage clothing. Many younger buyers see it as a way to purchase higher quality goods that are often hard to find.
I don't think this will last very long in the store because the fact that it's the bay, it's this gorgeous red color, looks like amazing condition.
Consumer Reports says thrifting has gone mainstream and people are more willing to accept a secondhand item.
I think people's feelings towards that have changed a lot in the last couple of years. Thrifting can help you find something really special and meaningful for the people on your list.
Researchers also say consider refurbished electronics, as you can often get something used that's dependable for a fraction of the price. Your best bets are smartphones that are no more than 3 generations old, laptops, desktops, monitors, gaming consoles, TVs less than 3 years old, cameras, routers, and audio devices. Consider refurbished products sold at big box stores, which often come with a return policy or warranty. No matter what kind of secondhand item you buy, it's also good for the planet.
All the items we have here, if we weren't reselling them and reusing them and recycling them, they would be ending up in the landfills.
When it comes to toys, many people are nostalgic for the past. They love collecting Hot Wheels, Superman, Batman, and anything Star Wars.
Toys from the 90s are really hot right now for the kids that are in their 30s right now. They're buying stuff that they played with.
By thrifting items or checking out vintage shops, you could discover some unique goods you won't find anywhere new, and you may save some money at the same time. Pat Foran, CTV News.
It's so easy to buy a commercially made festive card at this time of year, but if you give a card you made by hand, it adds a lovely and thoughtful touch. Joining us now with ideas and tools to create beautiful water-painted cards is artist Jerry Knight. Good morning, Jerry.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay.
Okay, you've brought some finished examples, and I have to say they are absolutely beautiful. You're quite the artist.
Well, thank you.
And it's really easy to be able to do something like this, and you're going to show me how to do it along with you. But let's just talk about the personal touch. When you have a handmade card like this, what sort of response do you get from people when they realize that you made this yourself?
Well, and it's kind of like any homemade gift, even baking something. It's built with love. It's made with love. So, and it comes across, and even for the person giving it, it's nicer. It makes them feel good too to give it, because I made that. Right?
I actually have a friend who made me a bookmark, all hand painted, and I love it. I use it exclusively because I love it. Thank you, Mona, for that. But really beautiful pieces as well that you could create. And once you do it, it takes a while to create water painting pieces as well, because you have to let them dry in between stages.
Right. Yeah. If you know the techniques, you know that you can do it in layers. But there's little tricks you can do that make it quick and easy.
Yeah.
There's a salt trick that I can maybe show you.
Okay. What you've done here is you have like these table settings. Mm-hmm. You've taped the what is this? Just regular cardboard? What would you call this paper?
It's special watercolor paper that you buy.
Okay, and so we're gonna get started. I'm gonna try to make this tree here. as you can see right here. Yeah, there it is. And what is the first thing you want me to know? What tool do I use in this case?
Because we've taped this one off, you could tape off your triangle. So you're starting with a basic triangle like that.
Oh, I see, because you don't want it to go outside
Because you
the
don't,
lines.
yes.
Okay.
And you're going to be using quite wet paint. It's different than acrylic. Acrylic, you know, sits on top of your canvas, whereas watercolor is going to be floating around doing its own thing, so you kind of have to contain it.
Do you have to put one on the bottom as well?
I sure do. If I can find the end, I will do that.
And then any paintbrush, does it have to be a fat one? It doesn't matter? What's the trick?
Because you're doing, you know, it's loosey-goosey here.
Yes, that's how I live my life.
So because of that, you can just pick your colors. Make sure you activate your paint.
Okay.
With watercolor, it all starts like dry, and so you activate it with water.
Okay. Do you take a lot? What do you do?
Yep.
Okay.
Take a bunch, and if you don't have enough water, you just
paint in the lines.
Just go crazy.
Look at that.
Let it, like, dab it, kind of give it a couple of these. And then with the fun thing, too, with watercolor is you can mix right on your canvas. So I've got some from the dollar store here. If you want some shiny stuff added. And like I said, you can mix right on here. So if you drop it while it's wet,
the
colors
love that.
will...
I'm going to wet it a little
right,
bit
and then
more.
you've got kind of a messy...
Okay.
Yeah.
So just go for it.
Just go for it.
And so what got you started down this journey in making things like this?
Well, I took through the Leisure Guide a watercolor class maybe 10 years ago or so.
Yeah.
And I was just hooked. And I enjoy actually showing other people how to do it because it's surprisingly easy if you just give it a try.
From what I understand, you're doing this with all the ladies and gents at work on your lunch break.
That's right. And they're all hooked, and they suggested maybe I come and show people here.
We're almost out of time already. What do you want people to know? What do they need to get started? Simple ways to get started with this.
You can grab at the dollar store, you can grab a palette already made, or you can go to some place like Michael's. I saw there in the city here, there are people that are classes. I think there's some tomorrow and the next day at a couple of places in town. Just Google it and you can learn how to make your own.
They're lovely. Thank you for sharing this with us. It's a great idea on how to create your own cards during the holidays or any time of year, really. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
Okay, and you guys, or ladies, both please take pictures of that art and get all the people that are doing it over the lunch break and send that to winnipegweather.ca, and I'll have some art to share on the show during our art segment. Look forward to that. All right, outside this morning is minus 14. It feels like minus 21. The winds right now, they're out of the south-southeast, 15 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 83%. And the snow is falling. It's really picked up over the last 20 minutes or so, and we'll deal with that through the morning hours, maybe tapering off into the afternoon. Northern Manitoba, you can't see it on the satellite image. You'll be dealing with that flurry activity as well. And then while it might taper off into the afternoon, it'll likely develop again into the evening time. Now today, still mild-ish anyway, close to seasonal temperatures, getting up to minus 11. Then it gets cold as the temperatures plummet throughout the day tomorrow. Sunshine for the next couple of days, but those temperatures sliding to the deep freeze. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with your Morning Winnipeg.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
All right, let's wrap up the show with some fun video. This couple tied the knot where it all began for them.
Yeah, so the classmen, everybody that was coming to the class came to the wedding.
Ed and Marlene met during a water aerobics class at their local YMCA 3 years ago. Their classmates came out and the pool's aquatics director even officiated, all while others, swimmers, stuck with their daily routines in the lanes behind them.
Never mind, there's a wedding going on.
Yeah, I'm swimming. Well, some parents say they can't control their kids, but others...
Oh, yeah. You remember the look.
Oh, yeah. I remember this look. A certain generation knows this look all too well. No words needed. Only have to make this look to stop their kids from doing what they're doing. It still works. And the New York subway's holiday nostalgia rides are back.
It was fascination. I know.
Their 1930s train cars run every Sunday in December and features 8 cars from the 30s, and commuters get right in the spirit. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.
Just a pass.